What's going on, everybody? Welcome. It's we have a special stream today. You may notice that we're like grooving out already. Maybe even clipping a little bit. I might have to turn that down a little bit. Anyways, I'm joined by me hitting the button. I have a very special friend here today. Everybody say hi. This is Daniel Troberg. Hello. Woo! You may know Daniel Troberg already if you are a fan of synthesizers. Daniel Troberg was one of the original founders of Electron, correct? Ish? Okay. First wave. And then went on, and now you work at Ashun synthesizers. They're very famous for their Hydrosynth, which is a weird kind of spectral wavetable, additive FM, all that stuff. Yeah. So this is a very music-driven stream. Music volume needs to be slightly adjusted. That's fine. We can do that. We'll do that in just a second. Anyway, so Daniel agreed to do. We've been trying to set this up for months now. It's been a while. But we're doing an acid set, baby. I've attenuated the music on the game completely, so we can actually just appreciate music. But we still got the Vaughn sounds. Should be fun. Anyways, have you played Vaughn? Step on up. No. Have you played? No. Okay. Have you followed any of Stern's modern giddings recently?
Not really.
Okay, so this is George Gomez's second most recent release. They actually just did Pokemon. Him and Jack Danger, another designer. So Gomez was very famous for the game right behind you, Lord of the Rings, who is also designed. And this is kind of like what his most recent game was before Pokemon. It's awesome. It's super fun, super fast, and I will try to give you my best tutorial as we dive in. So boot it up. Let's do it. We'll go. Sneak myself on too. We also got. Hold on a second. Well, so that camera is going to be where Daniel's going to be spinning live. So the music you're hearing isn't just playing off Spotify. Out of the way, Sid. So they can see the turntable. Yeah, this is a real live vinyl set. Daniel is something that a lot of people don't know nowadays. Daniel, come here. I want to tell him what you are. Daniel's a real DJ. This is not Tractor. These are vinyl records. There is no cheating here. The real deal. The real McCoy. Music is overdriving the voice. All right, we'll back it off just a touch. Cat Jam. Yeah, so we're getting a real special treat tonight. It's, if you haven't heard or know what acid music is, it's very popular by the 303 synthesizer, Roland TB303, I believe, as well as a number of drum machines that also contribute to that. Yes. I think the 808 and 909 are pretty synchronous with the acid music. Anyways, all right, so Pinball. Emily, I'm going to turn down... Okay, so.
Oh wow, they changed colors.
Yeah, if you can't see his shoe here, how high can you get your feet? Never mind. Amazing. Look at that. Dang, that's a clip.
Yeah, if you can't see his shoe here, how high can you get your feet? Never mind. Amazing. Look at that. Dang.
These shoes are brought to you by Jersey Jack Pinball, for sure. Jersey Jack likes to put a lot of rainbow LEDs in their games, so you get a lot of that, like rainbow effect. All right, anyways, so Crash Course 007, you ready? So, both of these ramps, here and here, start modes. So, the pro move is to get a plunge around and try to hit one of those. Not like that. Almost like that. Definitely not like that. And then, like most Stern games, you just follow the arrows. Daniel is not a pinball newbie, but Daniel hasn't played a lot of modern pinball, I would say. We went to, what was the name of that? Of course, I'm no good at pinball either. What was the name of it? It wasn't Arcade Expo, was it? Was it just Pinball Expo? So, here, Here, maybe, all right, what, in Palm Springs, or in that direction, chat, what was the name of the Pinball Expo that they had that, I don't know, stopped being a thing, maybe like...
It was at the museum.
Yeah, well, it was like, Jesus, 6-7 years ago? How long ago was that? If not more? The other thing we got set up, based on Melody talking about it, complaining, is I have a microphone now over in the main setup. So you should be able to hear me pretty good over here, chat. Let me know. We're still testing this out because we had to kind of redo everything. Boom. All right, so those are your main locks, Daniel. If you hit the 3 green targets right in front of it, it's going to light it blinky green like you got right there. So you want to go for that blinky green.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you, like, you are a mogul in synthesizer development. What got you into doing synthesizer stuff?
So I had a MSX computer when I was a kid. A Sony Hitbit.
That identifies it as Sony.
In 1983, I got my first computer, Sony Hitbit. HP 75.
Oh.
And from there on, I mean, it made some noises. It didn't have like a full sound chip. My buddy had a Commodore 64.
Sure.
But from all the sounds that the computer, like the games made, of course I was just like, and then there was school discos, and I saw a DJ who was like playing, like there was a person who was playing records, and I could go up and like, oh, can you play this one? And he was, yeah, I got it. What?
Right, there's a culture behind it.
Yes.
This is in Finland, by the way, right?
Finland and Sweden.
And Sweden. Okay, for those of you who don't know, by the luxurious, sexy accent, you're Finnish.
Yeah, I'm Finnish, but my mother tongue is Swedish, so I have like
the dance. When I told you to try to make a dance.
Oh, there you go.
So wait, so is that because your parents, one of them was Swedish as well, or is it just because you lived on the border?
So I'm from an archipelago between Sweden and
Oh, okay.
so it's called Åland.
Those are waterway little islands.
Yes.
By the way, for those of you who don't know what that big word means.
There's several thousand small islands or islands.
Interesting. I didn't realize that. You think of the big, massive land bodies that stick out, but you don't think about all the little tiny blocks of land.
This is like breadcrumbs, and
Yeah.
I lived on one of the breadcrumbs.
Like the planet sprinkled a little salt through the like.
During my growing up, I had to eat breadcrumbs. No, it wasn't that bad, but it was still Finland, and in the 80s. So basically, when we wanted to do cool things, we went over to Sweden.
Okay. Wait, so are you saying right now for the internet that Sweden's cooler than Finland?
Back in the 80s.
Okay, but it's switched now.
It's switched now.
Okay.
Now Finland is like hot shit. Now it's
awesome.
like, I should actually put on like a Finnish accent in my English, and they would go, oh yeah.
Can you demonstrate for those of us who are kind of like tone deaf for accents?
Talk a little bit like this. We
Okay.
can talk, it's very sort of stuttery.
Interesting. As opposed to Swedish, which is more like.
Well, this is more singing. It's more like.
Interesting. As opposed to Swedish, which is more singing. It's more like.
That's amazing. So I feel like I can fundamentally identify the difference between the two.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sweden was hot shit back then. Now it's Finland. But
Yeah.
So what was gravitating you towards Sweden in those days?
Oh, I was forced to live there for 2 years.
They do that.
They do parent stuff.
They do parent stuff. This is very true.
But during that time too, of course, everybody like we either had. You had a Commodore 64, I had a buddy who just got an Amiga, and all the kind of graphics and sound and everything just spoke to me, but especially the music. And then when I heard at the same time in the 80s, heard like electro stuff, breakdance stuff, Kraftwerk, whatever, Tommy Shell style, and you realize that some of the sounds in the music, the same sounds heard from computer games.
These sound chips are from the same,
Weird stuff.
So for those of you who don't know, these sound chips, first off, these computers, many of them you had to load, you had a very finite amount of memory and you had to use tapes sometimes to load whatever your samples were that you wanted to put in there. There was like a lot of the stuff that is taken for granted these days is like, you had to really work your ass off that back then. So yeah, you had to load your sounds on there, and also these DAWs that you think of today existed in some form way back then. I feel like Cubase was available on the Commodore at one point.
No,
it was like '86, I think, is when
Atari.
It was on the Atari. Okay.
Yeah.
But there were screen trackers that came out in the like later '80s that allowed you to trigger samples on a kind of like scrolling grid of code. But yeah, the roots of electronic music kind of go back to the home bedroom a lot earlier than I think a lot of people may realize.
Totally. And I mean, I also remember this. This was okay. I bought Gravis part for my PC.
Yep.
And that also changed things. That had like you could add memory expansion from sample memory.
Sure. And it was, going from general MIDI and going to an actual wavetable synth was just like mind-blowing in terms of audio quality. I remember playing like Space Quest 1, like Sierra Adventure Space Quest 1 back in the day, and going from on my Tandy 3D6 that had no sound card, and then I put a sound blaster in it, which is very similar to Gravis Ultrasound. They all had similar wavetable synthesis, and that was just like, oh my god, the experience was just like mind-blowing.
The same thing though with, I mean, I still remember like Commodore 64 that Buddy had. We were playing console games. My favorite Bubble Bubble.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah.
It's the best game ever. I have it on my phone, I have it on my retro. I have it on Anyway, so there were some Commodore 64 games that also had sample playback. The BMX kids.
Oh, sure, you mean where you could cycle through the samples?
No, it's actually in the game, like they actually used sample playback as a way of
playing
in the audio.
Right.
Yeah. And the first time I heard that, my mind was also blown, because before it was kind of like, tones, melodies, and
Some they're controlled
like,
bleeps and bloops, and now you have real samples.
That was amazing. So that also became like a bit of an obsession.
And those sounds also had their own character because they're different than, so when you have to put a large sound in a very small amount of space, you have to compress it in different ways. So the way that they would do that, there was different architectures and ways that you could compress that into memory, and you'd get bit reduction, you'd get sample rate reduction, all sorts of strange artifacting. So sounds that, I mean, you could, I'm trying to think of like vocal samples are a pretty good one, right? Like normally, like, you record a vocal, it sounds really good, but you put it in a really old video game, and all of a sudden it's like crunchy and just like, it sounds crazy. And that style came from necessity of putting large samples in a really tiny amount of memory.
And a lot of those sound chips, they didn't even have the support for sample playback. So what you did was you had to come up with new ideas in order to playback samples. On Commodore 64, you would modulate basically the amp envelope very, very fast. And that would be your digital to analog conversion, of course, with a horrific sample rate.
Sure. But it works.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, with that, together with your imagination, especially as a kid, of course, that sounded like any other sound. Oh, it speaks.
Yeah, which is true. It does speak. So you write your own music as well?
Yes.
Can you spin some of that?
I only brought old stuff.
Okay.
So this is kind of like favorites from around 91 to 92.
Very cool.
Mostly German acid from specific flavors like that.
Okay. Very cool.
Very, very specific, very specific psychedelic.
Totally. Which is what acid is all about.
Yes.
So yeah, if you're just tuning in, you are wondering what the hell is going on. We're doing a pinball stream dedicated to the genre of acid, made popular by the TP303, and we have an incredible DJ, an incredible individual doing it. So let's play some pinball.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm playing too, aren't I? I guess it's me. Yes. Okay. Gorgar does speak, right? What are we listening to? Sounds like a 303. It is a 303. That's what we were just talking about, Space Junk. Good to see you, my dude. What's up, Spectre Gaming? It is kind of techno biking. I think a lot of these things. This is absolutely Bond acid. But we have the attenuation on the music for Bond turned all the way down, but the sound effects are still up. So we're making our own mix, baby. Okay, so yesterday, I guess it was yesterday, I had a pretty good game. We hit 2.6 billion, which is definitely my highest on here. It's a lot easier now that we can pick up our multipliers from the ladies. So there's a very important shot in here, collecting women. So when you do certain things, you're going to see these women lit up here. Oh, you need to shoot the women. Shooting the women gives you a potential playfield multiplier. I know. But you got this. We'll get through it together, even though I just drank. Shit. The Illuminati ladies brought us cookies and beverages already. That's okay, Joe. We'll deal with it. In fact, here, I'll pick up the side chain on.
Draw your equipment at Cuba.
There we go. That should be a little bit more.
Power.
Well, now it's great, because the music stopped. You gotta get that going. There we go.
What a wonderful surprise. Well, for me, too. I must say,
You finally decided on your real question here. We have a second microphone set up now, so I don't have to cramp up into whoever's playing space. What the heck are the 3D glasses for? Okay, so there's a video mode that is assigned to the fish finder shot. There's 3 targets. So if you have the video mode set up for it and hit the fish finder targets, it will set you up for the video mode. And then if you shoot the center ramp, I believe, or the reel, I forget which, one of the shots activates the shark kind of video game mode. And then you'll be prompted to either put your 3D glasses on or not. So yeah, that's what that's for.
useful and unobtrusive.
Nuclear Black wants to know what your opinion of the old OSC Oscars.
Shit build.
What? Shit build? Shit build. Is that the weird Russian synth?
No, it's an English
Oh, English.
synth. It's like a James Bond synth.
Gotcha. All right, so if we had to go favorite classic synthesizer, you can't pick TB303. All right. What are we going for? Top 3.
Actually, the 101, the SH101.
Oh my God! Made famous by what? Aphex Twin, Square Pusher. I mean, that's like the Warp Record sound for the first 10 years of the 90s.
Yes. It's and it's square wave. It's kind of.
Daniel, you're making me look bad. Did you practice before coming over here?
See some.
S1367803 says the Fairlight. Well, that's a good one because when I did the Labyrinth audio, I used both the Fairlight and the Synth Clavier, which is another popular synth that was used in a lot of scores in the 80s. Made popular by Vangelis and what's his face? The guy. God, I'm blanking on his name. He's did avant-garde pop music. UK artist. He was he won a Grammy. He's super famous. I'm so embarrassed. I'm gonna have to look it up. you're playing right when you tilt. Because if you don't, that means you're not pushing it, right? My tongue, I can't check. If you're not tilting, you're trying. That's very true. That's very true. Yeah, so please, if you have any questions for Daniel about synthesizer stuff, fire away, man. Daniel is seriously not only kind of a legend in the synthesizer, I don't know. What would you refer to the modern synthesizer culture world as? Change of records.
Modern.
I mean, you're like, so Electron, which is the company that you worked at for a really long time, they essentially created the modern bedroom, synthesizer culture. I mean, those boxes, two of them are on my wall right there.
Yeah.
It's shaped what producers were doing, like, in the home studio for forever.
Yeah. And what's interesting is, the reason why why Electron got on my radar was because the first product that Electron made was a synth based on the Commodore 64 sound chip.
That's cool. Which one was that? Was that the mono machine?
No, the synth station.
Oh, yeah. Duh.
So, obviously, when I was working in a music store, in a computer store back then.
Which is crazy that those existed. Now everything is, online with whatever.
Yes. And there was kind of early internet, and I went on to a webpage, synthstation.com. And
this was the download patches for it, or?
It was just like, hey, here's the synthesizer, and it's the Commodore 64 sound chip, and here's some sound clips. And holy shit, I was just like, okay, I need to work here. So I, what's the word? Finagle?
Yeah, finagled.
Yeah, finagled my way in the...
How do you even begin to I mean, at that point, Electron must have been much smaller than the kind of, whatever, audio empire that it's turned into now.
Yeah.
But
it was just three guys.
Yeah.
It was just nothing.
3 guys, 1.5 cups,
yes,
right?
Exactly. 1.5 sit ship. And, yeah, well, could be worse.
That's true.
So, what did I do? I basically infiltrated myself and made sure that
You were admiring my aquarium.
they
Yes.
were needing my services.
Yeah, just convinced them that you were a valuable asset.
Yes.
And then ended up working there for over a decade, right?
Yeah, 20 years.
Yeah, 20. Nuclear Black wants to know what your opinion on the Virus Access TI Snow is.
Oh, it's virus. The virus synths are pretty very good.
I mean, that's another staple of the mid to late 90s. I mean, that was Reznor kind of rode that for most of Pretty Hate Machine and a few other early 90s albums.
I think in Europe it's more known to be just like a trance machine.
Sure.
Like all the Dutch and German whatnot trance producers, if you didn't have a virus, you were nothing.
Well, that's the Transgate was a popular hardware, well, not hardware, but it was a popular element of those synths, and then just disappeared because Transgates aren't really used anymore. You can emulate it in software, obviously, but it's that's not built into the main architecture of the synth anymore.
Me and my buddies, we used to actually use gates, audio
Actual gates.
and send out a hi-hat from an 808 into the key input, and then run a pad through, and then put the hi-hats in the steps in the pattern.
So you're almost getting side chaining out of it.
Yeah, but then it would be
Pattern. Persistent, or I guess quantized ducking. Yeah, Killdozer, this is 100% pinball rave. It couldn't be more of a pinball rave, I think. Actually, we should make the lights react. That's a great idea. Yes, he did. We're gonna have to show the shoes off again later, so we're gonna have to do the hike again. All right, start up another one while I get these lights flashing. information in the description as well on DubLab, which you do, first Friday every month, correct?
Yes, 10 p.m. Midnight LA time.
Yeah, super late night, probably past most of the East Coast bedtimes for viewership, but I highly recommend it. I love to tune in on that and not get stoned in the bed while listening to these things. Daniel, I'm gonna be honest, that wasn't enough time for me to set up the lights. Come on, man. Alright, so we're into He Blew a Fuse. We want to not drain here because it's totally gonna try to screw me. So the Spectre method is like what we were talking about. Oh my god, I'm not paying it. Oh my god. God, are you Googling every old synth or something, Nuclear? Now he's asking about the Clavia Nordlead 3.
Oh, so the Clavia, that's kind of interesting because Clavia was, or is, I would say, they're just called Nord now. They started out doing electronic drum kits.
It's funny because Nord's more known now for just doing live performance like keyboards.
Yes.
You know, I mean, if you've ever seen an artist on stage and they have the giant red keyboard with them, it's probably a Nord.
Yes. And in '95, they released the Nordlead, which was basically one of the first virtual analog synths. And it was kind of a revelation because now you didn't have to, worry about things going out of tune and that kind of stuff. And, they painted in red. So,
cool.
Yeah, so they had like an ID for the brand already. And, I remember when they were announced and released and it wasn't a music store and pointed out, whoa, this is... So, yeah, I think all the Nord stuff is great. But was there a question about my top 3 synths?
I asked you. Just out of curiosity.
Have I said anything yet? No. The 101.
Yeah, SP101.
Yeah, SH101, yes. So my second one is the first Nord Modular.
Oh, interesting.
So
I didn't know Nord made a modular.
Yeah, so they made a digital modular system, which was basically it's a little bit the idea of Reactor, but you have it in hardware.
Okay, that's awesome.
But it was way easier to program because it was kind of like, I mean, it's maybe a little bit like Eurorack in the sense, like, because a Reactor, like NI Reactor, is a little bit more like you can get into too deep with it.
Sure.
But the Nord Modular is fantastic, but they don't make them like this.
I think I remember that they're expensive. They're like kind of like
now they're kind of
rare.
Now they're kind of novel,
right? So for anybody who doesn't know what the Reactor or modular synthesis is, so Euroracks are. Dopefer was the pioneer for the original Eurorack systems, and then it became a standardized format, and they're basically like little modules that you can put into a synth array, and you patch signals through it, whether they're control voltages or whether they're audio signals. You can run things through each other, and it does all sorts of neat things. You can do very non-linear synthesis. You can have things that are polyrhythms, or you can have gates that operate as polyrhythms outside of the structure of what you were actually working on. So it's pretty neat stuff. And Reactor is kind of like a synth design platform that has access to all that. It's kind of like C++ for synths, but it has a UI kind of built directly into it. I would say that's kind of a simplified version of it, right?
Yeah.
So to have a synth company making that synth came out in the what? It was mid-90s or early 90s?
98.
98, okay. So late 90s. But pretty visionary stuff for a company that then kind of went down. Maybe downhill's not the right word, but they found a niche and just kind of capitalized on it.
Changed.
Yeah, they changed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and then there was also a Nord Modular G2, like second generation.
You can't pick that one as your third stick. That's too close to picking
but
two
the thing
sticks.
is, I like the first one because it sounds like the converters are different.
Okay.
And so it just sounds to me, it kind of sounds like, this is a shitty term in audio, but it sounds warmer. Sorry.
You did it. Why'd you do that?
But what it is there's a lack of very high frequencies.
Doesn't have that sizzle.
It's like grandma's hearing, basically.
Right, which I have now.
Oh, there you go. Yes. I have a vision soon.
Oh, you got grandma's vision?
Soon.
Combined, we're one whole grandma. All right, so that's 2. What's number 3? These are deep cuts too. These are good synth choices.
Yeah. So I want to stick to like synthesis, like not sample playback.
Sure. Like this old Pinball under here. Also, you had mentioned tuning stuff. A lot of people think, oh, digital synths, or analog synths, like, oh, they're synths. They make electronic sounds. You don't need to tune them. Oh, buddy, nope. When they get warm, the circuitry inside of it can easily drift on what it uses to handle for its like root note, and then everything after that is totally screwed. So, like, I have an old Super Jupiter in this rack down here, the MKS 80, and that bitch does not like to stay in tune at all, and you have to retune it pretty frequently, especially once it comes at the temperature. No, Johnny Button, we are not. This is, I'm joined by Daniel Troberg, I don't even know how to introduce you again. You have such an electronic synthesizer history. So, Daniel was one of the original or first wave members of Electron, the synthesizer company. He currently works at Ashun Systems, which is the company that makes the Hydrosynth. He is also a proficient DJ, and we share a lot of similar music tastes, and we thought it would be a fun thing to do old school acid rave pinball night. So we have real turntables in the background. We were gonna have Daniel spin, but then he can't play pinball, so we're figuring it out. Something that we've had on the radar for literally months. Literally months.
So the third one.
Oh, you got it. Let's hear it.
Is can I say a product that I've been sort of
associated with?
In bed with?
Of course. Why can't you? You can plug Hydrosynth. Why not? Is it the Hydrosynth?
No, it's the mono machine from Electron.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, again, you're picking everything from the '90s. Interesting. Or I guess early 2000s. No, wait. When did
that's a 2000s
okay. Yeah.
product. Yeah. But I mean, a 101 is from the 80s, right? So it's like 80s, 90s.
Yeah, you're picking one from each decade. That's cool. That's fair.
Yes. And I would say, because that also has synthesis.
Wait, are you allowed to be on camera with that or no?
No.
Do it. Visual example of this. So this is modular synthesis here. It's a combination of a make noise system with a bunch of other kind of like older modules in it. Way old stuff because I was doing modular stuff before it was cool-ish. So this is what a modular system looks like. This is exactly what the kind of like reactor and kind of modular stuff he was talking about. And then Daniel has in his hands the Nord 4 Mach 2, which is an Electron synthesizer. You were very much involved in the synthesizer, right?
Well, the first
iteration, right?
The Mark II. Yeah. However, I gotta say though, the fourth choice that I have,
Sure, let's be 5
is the Hydrosynth.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Because it is.
The first time I got to actually play with it was at NAMM, and it's just like it's such off-the-key wireless headphones, knowing that like thousands of other people have put them on. Like, that would be cool, but this is acid pack. This is synthesizing that. Anyways, yeah, he's spinning it in reverse. I gotta get a better shot of There we go. Boom. DJ time. And it wouldn't be a cool DJ moment. Your cousin had a rolling TB303? That's awesome. There's so many emulations of the TB303 now. I don't even know which one I would recommend as the like actual like best real one. I would say if you like are on a budget, then Behringer, but I don't would recommend anybody buying any Behringer anything. There we go. I blew Daniel. Wait a minute. The family show. What's on the B side, Joe the Dragon wants to know? I don't know. This is all mid-90s or early 90s German acid from Jungle... What was it? Jungle what? Jungle Fever. So, yeah. Dirty, get him to Expo this year. Yeah, we could do that. You should... Have you been to Pinball Expo? No. That's our arcade expo. This is Pinball Expo's in Chicago. And it's like... all the major manufacturers are there, all the new game releases are there, there's like thousands of people roaming around a giant room, but like it's what, a 50, 60,000 square foot auditorium? Like it's the real deal. This is like the main pinball event of the year. So you should definitely go. As somebody who loves pinball, you just have to. All right, let's see if we can put some good points up.
What's your name?
Oh my god, that's not the way to start. Yeah, last night was really good in there. Also, congratulations, Roller Coasters, on your mega placement. I know that you're probably not happy with 4th place, but with the level of competition that was there, man, like, come on, pat yourself on the back. Oh, fuck me.
Level of competition that was there, man. Like, come on, pat yourself on the back. Oh, fuck.
Okay. Nuclear, he wants to know what happened to your cousin and his 303.
Give me a story.
Is there a story associated with it, or is it just he had one and that was the end of the story? Johnny Butt bowing down for. Don't do that. We're just synth lovers. Yeah.
Draw your equipment.
It's in his room still, apparently. That's the whole story. Hanging out there.
What's the address?
Wait, oh come on. Original TB303s aren't that hard to get a hold of. Why are you really? They pop up on eBay pretty regularly.
Yeah, but for insane prices.
Yeah, that's true. I remember Kevin Key still has his. I used to, Kevin from Skinny Puppy. We lived fairly close, and I went over to his place a few times, and he has his 303 looks like it's seen some shit, man. It's got more stickers on it than it's like fucking Sharpied all over. Like it's seen some shit. He's been having some health problems, so he doesn't live at home anymore. Well, I mean, maybe this is an opportunity for you to borrow that 303. No bad ideas. I'm just saying.
Oh, I got a couple.
Oh, what do you mean you got a couple? Really? Damn it. You're... Well, now you have to let me borrow the 303 so I can write some acid music. There's no good or no bad ideas there.
Willard White for you. Wow.
This is the real honor, sir. Show your sound.
All right, so let's see. You started, that was a destruction, so you shot a main villain ramp, okay? So basically you want to shoot everything that is blue, because that is the mode you're associated with right now.
Gotcha. So
Center shot, which is great, because you're going to go into a multi-ball, and you also want to aim for, you should absolutely prioritize going under that left flipper. You had an extra ball lit, and it was ball 3. Sadness. My cookie.
Damn country is being held for ransom, and we got to loom tomorrow.
Oh my god, that was a delicious cookie. Oh my god. Alright, so what was the... You picked Hydrosynth as 4. I feel like we can't end on an even number. Nobody makes top 10, like top lists of like even numbers. Except for 10. But yeah, don't listen to me. Top 4 list. I feel like hardware synthesized are, now that software is such a prevalent thing, it's becoming harder and harder to integrate hardware in with the workflow. Like people just generally steer away from it because it's just easier to throw a bunch of plugins on because everybody's learning how to write music on YouTube now instead of like trying to come up with their own ideas, right? How have you seen that evolution through Electron into Ashun, even back before?
Yeah, I mean, from the creative process and kind of like a bedroom producer. A lot of young kids, I don't think they would be like, you don't go out and buy hardware sets like you used to. Right. You just download a program and you go onto YouTube and look at the tutorial on how to use it, and then you become a famous dubstep producer or whatever. Like that's, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, that's how it works these days.
I mean, synthesizers are not cheap. It's a lot of engineering and technology and components that go into it.
Exactly. The thing is, like, we were just lucky in the, I would say, early 90s, under the 80s, early 90s, to be able to buy some, like, really, really nice synthesizers for peanuts. Like,
Wait, what's the best deal you got on a synthesizer?
Oh, like Jupiter 8 for like $300 and stupid stuff, which is now like a $20,000 synth.
I have a super Jupiter in there. I'll pay $300 for.
Not even, yeah. Which edition?
It's the Japanese one, so I'm not actually 100% sure. It's actually, I moved it over there because I haven't used it in a while. But I have the control module for it and everything too. Yeah. Which honestly, I don't know how the hell you use it without the control module. It doesn't give you, like, the secondary controls on it give you voice control and all sorts of other stuff that you don't really have access to otherwise.
The other thing sort of back in the days was I have a feeling that it was a little bit more like an exploration going on. You have to like figure stuff out yourself.
Well, and electronic music had so many different, I feel like a lot more experimentation for what was being made.
Yeah, but a lot of stuff was new as well.
Sure.
Because actually a lot of sounds that we were even doing was like, oh, I've never heard this sound before, whereas today it's like,
you really got to stretch to try to find a new sound.
yeah.
I feel like spectral synthesis is kind of like, not that spectral synthesis hasn't been around for a while, but that seems to be a popular like neuro, the neuro genres.
Yeah. I mean, like, granular is now becoming like
Dated.
yeah, or like, it's like bread and butter.
Sure.
Oh, granular, like, oh yeah, my toaster does that.
You have a really cool toaster. Have I ever seen a little portable synth the telepathic instruments has? I actually do. I have it in a box over there. I have not taken it out yet. Maybe I could do that. I could do an synth unboxing on stream. I feel like this is the
is being
All right, we got another question from S1367803. He said, what is the next evolutionary step in synth algorithms, UI, portability, or something else? A pretty deep question.
Well, I just hope that people who buy all these things. Oh, wait a minute.
You gotta make the tunes have to come back. The tunage is in 3, 2, 1.
I just hope that all these like synths that are being used and so on, who buy them, they actually like record some.
Sure. It is sad when you have a bunch of synths sitting on a wall instead of actually using them. I love my little black Decker's Dream.
Yeah.
Little CS80 clone.
Yeah.
Hard to understand. These are still too loud. All right, turn it down. Oh, that's 44 RPM. Yeah. Boom. Okay. Oh, that was slick. Is that better, chat? Can you hear us a little better? I turned it down a touch. Touch-a-reno. All right, so yeah, synth innovation.
Yeah, synth innovation.
It is funny seeing trends. I mean, I would say like the early 2000s, analog came back, right? Like everybody was remaking analog gear. And then modular kind of like took over, which I guess you could argue is the same thing as analog gear, but...
Yeah. I mean, let's say it like this. Usually there's cycles with everything, especially technology.
Sure.
If we kind of like cycle back now to, let's say, I don't know, 30 years or so, there's a theory about the 30-year cycle.
Loop? Oh, okay. This is all technology.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would claim that a new kind of wave of samplers would be, that would be like the category or whatever that come back.
So, but how would sample innovation, I mean, grain clouds is something that is a part of sample processing, as with the last, like, I mean, was grains on grains for a while. And then it was grain reverb and grain this.
I think the sort of, there hasn't like been a
Okay, that's fair. MPE was the big push as the last, like, I think, like 5 years. Polyphonic MIDI data where they were trying to... MIDI has been a standard controller language for forever.
I mean, in my opinion, MIDI is shit.
Oh, for sure. It's terrible.
Yeah. but it works, and it works across a lot of different brands, and that was kind of the idea. So, in terms of, you know, working across different brands, MIDI is great, but MIDI as a like full spec, and especially like or a little, I mean, granted that that's why modular systems became kind of popular again.
Sure.
People were like, oh, you can actually have something that's
right.
Again though, I think we're gonna see like more sound. There's
Teenage Engineering also like little quirky samplers.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, they have that like Game Boy essentially. But I mean, it's the size of a Game Boy. It's not actually a Game Boy. But, you know, they're trying to make sampling easy to do on like a portable level.
Yeah. And now at NAMM, you know, you had like the little Casio thing. Because Casio, I mean, they were cool back in the 80s.
Sure.
And
I had that calculator watch.
oh yeah. And now
That was so cool.
Now they showed like a little sampling pad thing
Interesting.
that looks like straight out of the 80s. And that was like one of the cool things of now.
Really?
And you go like, wait a minute, like it basically does the same thing as something that would have been made in the 80s. that only proves the fact that it's like it doesn't need to have like super technical specs. It needs to have a good idea.
Right.
Something that people go, oh, I just press the button here, it goes boom, and there it goes bang, and then I can make a beat.
And be able to get to like through those layers, like the UI needs to allow you to access that ability in a way that like makes sense, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Chad, I tried to fix it live. Tell me, are we coming through even clearer now? I kicked up the side chain just a touch. Our banjo playing friend is here. What's up, Bluegrass Bad? Good to see you, my dude. We're playing the electronic banjo, the 303. Some funny history on the 303. The 303 was designed to be a bass instrument, like an analog, like upright bass sounding synth, and it just failed at that miserably. And then it was what, Detroit or Chicago? There was
Chicago.
There was an artist that pioneered using it with the 808 or 909.
Yeah,
and it launched.
Pierre and Future.
Yeah, Future, that's it. And they launched really basically the sound of acid as it is today.
And the big kind of, you know, there's a little bit of a, what do you call it, water divider? Is that what you call it? Like there's a
Barrier?
water divides. There's some different opinions of
Oh, okay. So
However-
what's the other opinion? Where did acid
Well,
come
I
from
mean,
the other
there
camp?
are some. The 303 has been used in other recordings,
For sure.
but what the guys in Chicago did was they were tweaking the cutoff and the resonance and all those tonal controllers on the 303, and that's what made it like acid. Whereas, but now, you know, you look on Instagram and you go like, oh, this was recorded in '84 and this is an acid house track, and then people get angry because it's like, oh, it's not.
Right, you get the armchair warriors coming out to defend the 303.
But I would claim that, like, you know, acid comes from Chicago, and Future was one of the innovators for it, and that's it. It's kind of like techno comes from Detroit.
You know what else comes from Chicago?
The pizza.
Pinball.
Pinball. I
comes
was
from
about
Chicago.
to say pinball.
But pizza is good too. Deep dish
Deep
pizza.
dish pizza, which is not. I don't like.
Really?
Deep dish,
Yeah,
no.
all right, well, when you go to Chicago to go to Pinball Expo, I will take you to Pequod.
All right.
Which is
Do it.
probably some of the best deep dish in Chicago, as recommended to me by a number of people that have been to Chicago. Yeah, Detroit techno is like that's a pretty big landmark in what the electronic music scene was. A few cities like really pioneered electronic music. It wasn't New York, that's for sure. We were trying to make stuff happen in New York when I was there, and it was a lot of jungle. Jungle was huge when I was in New York. Breakbeats were where it was at. If you didn't put an amen loop on,
When was this?
99, 2004? BB? No. I was in the slum.org crew. Played at the Limelight once. Two other places around. It was nice. We threw a lot of parties out in like Jamaica, Queens, and just like out in the woods. And we're playing out in the middle of nowhere at like 2 in the morning. Things that I think you would appreciate. What's going on with Ibiza? I don't know. What is going on with Ibiza? That's out of my department. Do you have it? What's going on with Ibiza? Do you know?
I have no idea.
There you go. That's what's going on with Ibiza. That's right, Cliff. This is a total vibe out stream. This is not about hardcore pinball playing. This is about jamming out, talking about synths and stuff. Thank you, everybody, for hopping on. I appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying learning about a kind of niche electronic music thing, just like kind of like pinball is our little niche thing as well. Yeah, hopefully, let me know if the balance is good. I tested it when we started, but certain records, not all records have the same amount of loudness out of them. In fact, none of them do. All right. Oh, I hit the shop, but there are no ladies to collect. That's the saddest part. Oh my God, that was awful. I feel like the Bond movies were lacking to the TB-303. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I think the Bond movies' scores are really good. Like, very big brass horns. Really appreciate that. But I feel like a TB303 would have added a little important spy. Like when I hear this, I think spy music, right? I mean, I guess it's kind of like John Wick, right?
Agent 303.
Agent 303 works great. I love that. He's asking. Nicola Black's asking if you ever got to meet Joseph Quinteros before he passed away. I don't know who that is.
What?
Joseph Quinteros?
Gotta give me a...
Yeah, give us some context. This music makes me think of vampire nightclubs from Blade. Well, that song by Missile, that's called Missile 24. I forget who the artist is. The famous Blade song, you know.
Tim Taylor.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that was kind of like... yeah. That was kind of like... You know, very popular because of the movie.
But it put the 303 on the map for people that were curious about what that sound was.
It's a new order.
Right. Man, calling that a remix is like really stretching the term remix. There's that one little vocal sample where it's like confusion.
I mean, it's kind of like the story with Ep06 where they knock on his door basically. Oh, you ready with the remix? And he's like,
what?
Remix? And he's like, oh, here it is. It's completely random.
My favorite Richard D. James like myth maybe is when Madonna called him up to ask him if he would do a remix. Have you heard the story? Apparently Madonna, this may not be true, but at the time it's been talked about like it was. Madonna reached out to him to ask if he would do a remix. This was during the time when like After Window Liquor came out and everybody was like asking for Aphex Twin remixes. And he said he would do it, but she had to oink like a pig for him to record it in order to do the remix. And she told him to go fuck himself. So yeah. Richard D. James, everyone. the man, the legend. Have you ever met Aphex Twin?
No, not in person. No,
Right.
but not.
Is the mystery behind him actually his character, or is it just part of the performance? Maybe both.
I mean, they produced Sci-fi. UK also produced a lot of fantastic music.
Sure.
So I think it's just like...
Part of being British.
Yes,
Did you know I was born in England?
I am not surprised.
Yeah, I was born in Ipswich,
There you go.
which is a dump. All right, thank you, game. Beans and Toast Roller Coaster say, yeah, not well known for their cuisine. A lot of Turkish food, though. You like Turkish food? A lot of chicken chops, too.
Oh yeah. So S1367803.
Kind of a mouthful of a name, right?
Yes. So that Sharanjit Singh record, the 10 Ragas for Disco Beat, that blew up. I think it must have been over 10 years ago now, and it was an obscure Indian, basically disco record,
Okay.
but with like
303s on it?
Yeah. So Sharanjit Singh was a famous composer, and he did an album with like 303, 808, Jupiter 8.
Oh, wow. Man, when I think like Indian music, I do not think, or when I think Indian electron, I guess like Ibiza. Never mind. I take that back. I mean, isn't that...
So that was one of those tracks or songs or albums where people, some people online started like, oh, this is the inventor of acid house. Blah, blah, blah.
So this is where the diversion, or the separation, the river of the origins of acid music comes from.
I mean, there's even an Ice-T track with 303 on it.
Yeah, Ice-T created acid music, right?
Well, and Ice-T.
Yeah. Ice-T created all music.
Yes.
Oh my God! No.
There's also was it Section 25, Looking from a Hilltop? Also has the 303 in it, but it's not, it's not as...
Right. Having the instrument. Well, I mean, that begs a good question. Like, all right, for something like electronic music, genres blend so much, right? So where do you draw the line for something being a certain genre or not?
Yeah.
Right? Is it arrangement? Is it instrumentation, right? Is it some combination? Oh, we're good. We're still good. Dude, I need these ladies, man. I don't have enough. Oh, that was so fucking sloppy. Oh. I don't know why James Bond is hanging out over that thing. That is absolutely not supposed to be like that. I think we found a bug in the game. So normally the Bond on a wand, as it's so wonderfully referred to, floats over and you hit that switch and he drops his balls on you or on the tank. But he's not just supposed to hang out there like freaking me out right now, man. Bond, what are you doing? See, normally you hit that gate and he drops a ball that is connected to his butt. Damn it. All right, maybe he'll go away now. Okay. Interesting. Dang it. Thanks, Bond. I'm sad. That says he just felt like he had an acid trip. That's good. Mission accomplished then.
Wait, why do you have 79 and I have 3?
I don't know what happened. If it makes you feel better, neither of those scores are good.
What's a good score?
Well, so this game has a lot of multiplier scenarios that go into it.
Okay.
So good scores can really range depending on what you do. I would say that a good game on this is somewhere around 500 to 600 mil, and then like a great game is like $1 billion, and then the sky's the limit if you can make a certain set of things happen at the same time. You can really blow up the game. Like my current high on this right now is 2.7 billion.
Did you time it?
It is a long playing game. You're not wrong about that. There's just a lot to do. So like each one of these branches, so if you do all, 6 of the modes on the villain side, there's a wizard mode associated with that. If you do all of the Spectre weapons, all the other modes, so basically every single one of these things has a wizard mode associated with it. If you do them all, there is a giant wizard mode associated with it, which is Her Majesty's Secret Service. And then there's even side things too, like shooting the car. There's a bunch of multi-ball stuff in there. I mean, the game has, some would argue, too many things to do in it, and there is kind of, I think, in pinball design, it's too much in certain ways. Like there are games that have simpler rule sets that are like kind of more refined, and then there's games that just throw a whole lot at you. And the pinball community, there's a lot of people that gravitate towards one versus the other. Like I bet if I asked anybody in this chat room what their favorite pinball machine was, that the answers would vary all over the place. Yeah. And none of them are wrong, unless they pick D&D. I'm just kidding. I like it.
Should we do?
I've learned to like it a lot more. Sorry.
Should we do top 3
pinball machines? I get asked that so much, but we can. I mean, I feel like people ask you what your favorite synths are a lot because of who you are, right? So I get asked the pinball question. It's only fair. Can I ask you what your favorite 3 pinball machines are?
2. Yeah.
All right. No, Slinger. I'm not going to say Raven.
Bride of Pinbot.
Okay.
Number 1.
Wow, Bride of Pinbot, everybody. Look at that. Excellent.
Then I might go a little bit boring. Fishtail.
Dude, that's like Mark Ritchie's best game. I also designed Indiana Jones, which we have over there. The good Indiana Jones, not the bad one. Fishtails is a fantastic game. A lot of professional players stand by Fishtails as being like, it's a great tournament game. Yeah. It's great on many levels. So that's a great choice.
My third one was probably Iron Man.
Iron Man? Wow. That you don't hear that often. Wow. I don't even know how to process that one. Early 2000s Stern. Although I hated on Stern's Avatar for quite a while, and I don't know. Escher was talking about how good it is and listed a bunch of really good points, so I'm kind of coming around to Stern's Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, those are great.
Yeah.
Good choices. Send it.
Oh, there are videos of Aphex Twin early live performances where
Are you serious? That sounds so not true. From a technical aspect of it, have you seen anybody circuit bend their synths live? And your knowledge of Richard D. James, do you think that's a myth or is it the legend?
I think it's a fantastic performance. Then, whether it happened, like
he probably pulled his soldering iron out, but whether he actually made the changes,
yeah,
right?
Whether it was like live wire or not, like who knows?
Right.
But the thing is, like, I don't. When I was younger, I used to like care about it, and now it's just like if it's a good performance, it's a good performance. It doesn't matter. You know that French band Justice?
Of course.
So. When they kind of blew up and they did like these big shows and they had the Marshall stacks behind them and that kind of stuff. There were some poor people who thought that all those Marshall stacks were connected, and of course they were.
Right. But it's for the performance.
It created a vibe around it, and it worked.
Yeah.
So.
That was during the French techno, like Fiesta. Like Vitalik was another, like I think.
Yeah, I think Vitalik was a little bit before that actually. I think,
really?
Yeah, I think Justice kind of rode more on the kind of Daft Punk kind of.
Like Basement Jaxx, Fruity, like kind of like the sample cut up era.
But also like interesting sound.
Sure.
Interesting like processing of sounds and everything. My personal opinion is that I can't listen to dense, and I've never liked it.
Okay.
But I can understand like if you like rock music, like guitar music, distorted guitar music, then Justice was back then like a perfect kind of stepping stone. Oh, I like electronic music.
Right, yeah. There were a lot of gateway drugs. I think Astral Records was pretty well known for trying to give people accessible electronic music. They had like Moby and like Basement Jaxx, I think, was on there.
Yeah. And but the thing is, like,
BT.
But it also looked different here than in Europe.
Sure.
So
Europe had real like UK grunge. I mean, they had garage. They had all sorts of like more interesting electronic music, in my opinion.
And in the mid '90s, the rave scene in Germany and whatever, like Sweden, that was already commercialized.
Right.
Like they were already like whatever Red Bull was back then, for sponsoring events. It was already like a business.
Right.
And that kind of. It kind of exploded and then it went down kind of underground again and it's split up. Like Europe has
the Horn of Gondor.
It's always been a little bit
and in electronic music? Absolutely. I said it before you did. I totally agree. It's not a diss. Electronic music in America follows trends from overseas, in my opinion.
But what's interesting is a lot of the music actually came from here as well. A lot of the like the
Detroit techno scene.
Detroit techno, acid house, Chicago, and so on.
But I mean, like the techno underground scene has always been popular in Europe. Yeah. I mean, let's talk about like hyperdub kind of stuff. Like, Burial pioneered that sound in like whatever 2006, 2005. I forget when that record came out, but that set the trend for what a lot of like lower tempo electronic music and what is now being produced. I mean, like even Lorne and those kind of artists like pulled from that kind of like ultra low BPM, thick production kind of sound.
And he sampled a lot of stuff from video games, so it resonated so much with people who were sitting inside just playing video games all day, and then like they needed a soundtrack to their life, and Burial came along and just like,
he did that whole album in Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
isn't that crazy?
Awesome.
It just shows that you don't need like the DAW is meaningless, Like I try to like when people are learning to make music or people that work, I'm helping freelancers to like learn how to produce music and stuff. To force people out of their comfort zones and to try to make music in a different way than you're comfortable with is like the essential stepping stone for becoming your own artist.
Pork chop sandwiches.
Pork chop sandwiches. I need a track ID. Shazam is failing. We got a request on what album this is.
So this is Freddy Fresh. This is a guy, this is not German, but it's on the German label. It's on the Jungle Fever label.
You don't have to be German to be on a German label. That's cool. I'm not gonna judge. Das ist gut, you know? Yeah. Yeah, das ist sehr gut. Crystal Method is pretty dope. There you go. Another example of Astralworks bringing another artist into the mainstream. Vegas was a really good album. Did you like Vegas? Did you like the 90s big beat era? Were you a big beater? No. Oh, we got an anti-big bag, big beatite. Anti-big beatite. I don't know what that means.
We got an anti-big bag, big beatite. Anti-big beatite. I don't know.
Here you go, Johnny Button. This is the record.
All right, so yeah, the stuff I was playing, there's a guy called Freddy Fresh. He's from the Midwest. So it's on the label called Jungle Fever. And this probably doesn't exist on digital at all. You gotta buy the vinyl.
Yeah, you're handling it barehanded. You know, there's probably so many audiophile people that are just like gritting their teeth right now watching you handle this record. You can tell that's when a DJ's the real deal, when they're just like, this is just a piece of plastic.
But you gotta be careful with it. I mean, you gotta know how to cut it.
Sure.
And you can always, brush it off.
Buff it in. Yeah. Wax on, wax off.
Anyway, the album is called Analogical Mind, and it's on Jungle Fever. And you go to discogs.com and you pay a silly amount of money,
Yeah,
and then you get it.
I bought a few albums on there that have been not cheap. That's too bad. Is there any presence of this on Spotify for people that want to use a horrible platform to listen to their music?
Most of it.
So you were listening, whether you like this music or not, you were listening to music that you cannot access via normal means, which I think is back when we were in New York, like that was what part of going out to listening to music was. Like you couldn't find this stuff, and you trusted going to DJs to like actually hear and find music that you would never hear before. Look at this fucking sleeve.
I bought this in 1994 in Finland at the.
Here, let's get a money shot of it. Here, I'm zooming in.
And back in those days, you would also count the BPM on the track.
Sure.
And then you would put a little sticker on it.
That's crazy.
So we're talking like 205 BPMs, 180.
Sure.
This was like pretty fast.
Yeah, that's really high. But I mean, you could half tempo it to something else.
Yeah. But
for sure.
Back then, this was like normal. You know. These days, this is very, very fast.
Oh,
like
absolutely. You would never spend. I mean, not never, but yeah, you don't generally see BPMs of that high number. But the reason they do that, by the way, is so that you have a wow. It's even in blue. Dang, color pressings. So you want to make sure that you are going from one track to another and not stretching it too far. You know, some DJs even put the correct keys on there so you can know what actual relative keys go to. That's not. He's not doing that.
You gotta listen to the music.
There you go. You gotta feel it. You gotta feel it. Arcade Legacy is starting to make vinyl records to their area artists. Interesting. That's cool. I respect that. Part of me is cringing because I know that the low quality vinyl production is kind of a death sentence. There's some factories and other places where you're just getting kind of a really bad product. Even though it is on vinyl, it may not be how you want to hear it. Also, when you put stuff on vinyl, you have to make sure that it's mastered a particular way. If stuff is too far out of phase or if it has too much low end, there's all sorts of things that can cause the needle to like fucking jump out of the thing. So, my records had to get changed. Electronic music in general is not a great form of vinyl because of that. But old electronic music, a lot of it is mono, which is great for vinyl.
Yeah. There's also some interesting things. For instance, when you do a vinyl record, you can fit, a certain amount of
minutes aside.
Yeah. And also what you want to think about is that you will have a better high frequency response when you're in the outer circle than in the inner circle.
I always put my favorite tracks on the outer edge of both sides, just to make sure that they get the best fidelity.
Yes, but what you can do with that is you can actually use it to your advantage, right? Where you will have tracks that like you'll put it in certain places by purpose because you want a certain sound to it, and that's what I like about the medium as well, because it's kind of like it's a little bit like life,
Okay.
and it's got surface noise, and it's not a perfect medium at all. And then when you scratch it up, then you'll have that scratch maybe forever. But
Yeah, or if a kid pulls your needle across the record like you did on my Clark album, and you have a permanent click across the entire album.
he's on tour.
Yeah, we saw every time he's been in LA. I've seen it. It's amazing. Yeah. Clark is probably my favorite Warp Records artist, I would say, at this point. It's really good stuff. If you haven't heard of Clark, he's kind of transitioned into a film score artist at this point, but he's still doing his thing.
Probably gonna move to LA.
Oh, really?
Well, all the film scores.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Oh no, Clark in LA? What a disaster. That's amazing. Yeah, he's, what is it? Is it March? He's going to be at, he always plays at that one venue out in, what you call it? Can't think of it right now. Full of cookie. No, he's not playing at the Clark. What the hell theater is it? I'll have to look it up. What do you guys think of Ludwig Göransson? Are you talking about Johan Johannesson, the guy who died? I don't know. I don't know.
Ludwig. No, it's the film. The film score guy. Yeah, I think he's great.
Give me a score that he's done. Chat. Tenet. Oh, Oppenheimer. Okay. Yeah, that's funny. I worked on the trailer package for Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer, yeah. I didn't really like Black Panther's score. I thought Tenet was really good. I actually haven't seen Oppenheimer, so I don't know. We did not do good. Hey, look at that!
No.
Wow, you beat me by 5,000! Heck yeah! Bam! Lame. Those are terrible scores.
Hey, look at that, bro. Wow, you beat me by 5,000! Heck yeah!
I love that question. My top 3 movie scores. All right, well, let's see. I'm gonna throw John Williams in there for one of them. Although, man, I'm telling you, if you haven't heard the Dateline NBC jam, it's awesome. And I'm not even joking. Dateline NBC is John Williams, and it's awesome. If you've ever gone to the Hollywood Bowl to see John Williams, which I finally did, and then he had a stroke the day before and didn't show up, which we didn't know about, that sucked. He's okay now, but the guy's like 92, really old. All right, I would put Indiana Jones up there as one of my top John Williams score. I'm gonna put Arrival, which is Johan Johannesson, as probably like my number 2 pick. I think it's such an original score, and it works so well for the film. It's just it's unbelievable. It's so good. And then I got to think about number 3. I don't know. Give me a second. Play so I can think.
DuckTales.
DuckTales? Wee-oo! DuckTales. Man, I don't know. I have fond memories of certain scores. I think
Blade Runner.
Vangelis original? Okay, yeah. I was gonna say Cliff Martinez for the Solaris remake was really good. That's an incredible soundtrack as well. Really moving. It's a lot of malleted instruments. He built all of these weird malleted instruments and then played a bunch of other ones. It's really beautiful. If you haven't heard that, Cliff Martinez, another excellent composer. Also, he's from the band. What is it? What's his normal band? What he started? There's another guy who was in bands and then decided to start doing film scores. Someone I don't really like a whole lot of that did that is Junkie XL. I really don't think I don't think he's such a great composer. He did, most recently the Fury Road and the Mad Max film.
I think he's very good at marketing.
He's very good at marketing. But
Should be a marketing.
it's just like sound design explosions as opposed to like any kind of musicality to it. There's a place for that kind of music for sure. No hate on that. So Indiana Jones that I picked as number one. Oh, The Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that's a good point.
I like Marauder, Chase. What's it called? The movie. It's called. Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm blanking. He's in a Turkish prison. Midnight Express.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Good? This Knives Out, right?
It didn't portray Turkey as a place to visit.
Unless you like going to prison.
Yeah. However, the soundtrack is phenomenal. But I mean, we're talking like, early, like...
Sure.
Yeah,
with
Georgia Marauder is just...
Sure. But like if you can just go down the line, the 90s, like there's amazing composers left and right. James Horner, Howard Shore, obviously, Lord of the Rings. Alan Silvestri, from Back to the Future, also another amazing freaking Ginocchio, I can't say his fucking name, but he did like Speed Racer. Speed Racer has a really excellent soundtrack as well. Basically every trained composer that came out of the 90s into the 2000s was musically writing incredible music. And then it kind of shifted from music theory and like themes, motifs, and then to sound effects. Yeah. And that's when your Junkie XL stepped in. That's why I like, Johan Johannesson and like those and Cliff Martinez where they're kind of using tape loop concepts, but they're still playing musical melodies and building like emotion with that stuff. Kawatani, didn't Kawatani do are we talking Jesus Christ, Shadow of the Colossus? Isn't that Kawatani? Am I remembering that correctly? That's an incredible soundtrack, by the way. If you haven't heard or played Shadow of the Colossus, the PlayStation game, probably one of the best. Wow, good save. It's on the edge of my seat. I didn't know what was going to happen there. That Tron soundtrack is way too good. I don't know which one. I never really liked the first, because the thing with the first soundtrack is that the Daft Punk didn't really write a lot of the like orchestral. They worked with another composer that wrote a lot of that. So yes, they have their synth themes in there, but when it comes to the actual soundtrack, it's like they didn't really contribute to that. I don't know. Reznor's like Gone Girl score is really good. I was at Skywalker Ranch when they were doing Gone Girl, which was pretty funny. I didn't get to hear it because it was in the booth or the soundstage next to us, but yeah, it's a good time. Skywalker Ranch is really beautiful.
You will see that my piranha fish is very hungry.
I didn't know Reznor did Call of Duty stuff.
A man to the bone in 30 seconds. Passato and number 11.
Blade Runner OG soundtrack really stuck with me too. Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about that beautiful giant reverb and giant pitch drop. That's what I'm saying. Like, you want to think of composers that had a sound design moment that is memorable. Like, it's one pitch. It's just that boo and this cascading reverb that comes off of it, and it's just like it's so iconic, spiritual almost. Sorry, I feel like I was distracting you. Daniel, what about you? What are you feeling for the soundtrack question? He's getting the jams back up. Very important. Wow, this sounds like early Autechre. Like Gezcom.
Yeah.
Are you impressed that I know Gezcom?
Well,
no.
Because it's you, so I'm not really that impressed. That's just basic shit.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. Did you go to the Autechre show, by the way?
I had tickets, and then I had to travel. So what I did was I gave the tickets to a friend who plays in a very famous band who's never heard of Autechre, and I went like, can you go and see these guys? And he thought it was very good. And he was like, oh, this is very interesting.
Yeah, they turned all the lights off, which I'm not sure. It was interesting, but it was so packed that the experience kind of like didn't benefit from that. But
Yeah. I mean, in a way, it's kind of like if you know, there's a concept there, and if you've seen them and if you listen to them for a long time, it might be hard to like find something new.
yeah,
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
It's still good, but it's like,
you're going for the experience, not for the like
yeah.
to hear the new jam, because that's not how it works.
It's a little bit like when you were a kid and you saw a movie 100 times. One of my favorite, well, it could be favorite. Sure. However, I was more happy that I could give that ticket to someone who's never heard about them before and seen them before. And
It is fun to drop Autek around people that have no idea when they're like, oh, I like electronic music, and they talk about liking, you know, Daft Punk or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, here, listen to this.
And I mean, Autek is now kind of like, I mean, I wouldn't say commercial, but it's like pretty well known.
Yeah.
Like, it's not some kind of underground.
I was shocked to see some. I mean, I saw him in New York, and there were like 50 people in the goddamn theater, and like, you know, there were at least 1,000 people at that show. It was. They surprised the shit out of me. The turnout for it was bigger than John Carpenter, which I was like, wow. All right. All right, you got to do it. You didn't do favorite scores. You got to do that before we go to the movies. Although I feel like that list is going to share some similarities.
So, yeah, Midnight Express.
Okay.
Rhythm Rotor.
Top 3 films with a question clip.
Yeah, film scores.
Film scores, right?
Film scores.
We're doing movies next.
The score to Red Sun with Charles Bronson and Toshiro Mifune.
Okay. Wow, that's a deep cut.
Yeah, and that was actually made by Jean-Michel Jarre's dad, Maurice Jarre,
Okay.
who was a famous composer, sadly estranged from his son, Jean-Michel Jarre. But yeah, so Red Sun. I think I've seen Red Sun like.
Wow,
I had it on Betamax when I was a kid, and I was just like binge watching it. And that soundtrack.
That's fancy that you had a Betamax. Yeah.
Betamax was pretty common in Sweden and Finland.
Interesting. Oh, I mean, it's undeniably the better format.
Yeah.
There's a reason it was used in production and post-production for forever.
Yeah. And the third one, okay. Here we go. See, I could go either very arts, or I could just go like, what the hell?
Go with your gut.
What the hell?
All right. Really? Wow.
So I have a Goonies story.
That's Silvestri, isn't it? Who did? Chad, you're our Google. Who's the composer for Goonies? Is it Alan Silvestri? Am I right? Shining. That's an excellent audio moment as well.
Winner. Who's the winner? The winner. Are we both winners?
Everybody's a winner here. Wait, who are you responding to? Come on, Chad.
All right.
Help us out. Dave Grusin. Interesting. What else did he do? Roller coasters. 8-second delay, both directions. Thanks, internet. I didn't do my favorite pinball machines. I should probably do that as well. My current list, because I feel like it changes all the time, but my current list of favorite pinball machines: Lord of the Rings,
2 is on.
Twilight Zone, and Jaws.
It's the Hornet.
And Shadow is like a close fourth on that, which I obviously own these, but they're great for a reason. Iconic games, incredible games. All right. It's the Hornet. 3 Days of Condor, The Fabulous Baker Boys. Wow, I don't know any of these films. Falling in Love, classic. Roller Coasters. You and I did that, right? All right, we'll roll it into top 3 films. That was the worst ball of pinball I think I've ever had. Are we going from like, how do you even begin to do top films? Are we talking like script writing, like cinematography? I mean, there's so many components for it, you know?
Top 3 cartoons. Top 3.
Let's pick a specific genre for top 3 films. That's what we're gonna do. So, chat, you gotta give us a film genre, and we'll do our top 3 films of that genre. You know, I feel like that'll help dial it down a little bit.
Can't say porn. No porn.
No porn. All right, just as sci-fi, so we'll start with that. That's good. Roller Coasters has one of mine already on there. Another hydrating beverage. Also, where's that margarita go that Mariah made? Oh, I want that. Oh yeah. I thought that she gave me a sip, teased me, and then disappeared. All right. Sci-fi, man. This is gonna be so easy. At least I think so. Take it away.
First.
Right now, your body's thirsty.
I'll go first if you don't want to. Okay. I'm putting Arrival on there as my top favorite sci-fi film. I think Arrival is unbelievably amazing in every capacity. It's so good. Now I'm thinking whether I want to go artsy or not. I'm gonna put Back to the Future on there as well. I know that's like also like a fairly like well-known film. And then I'm gonna put Primer on there for third. Primer is sweet. Thank you very much. Primer is like a convoluted mess, but a really visionary time travel film. If you are not familiar with Primer, you should absolutely go check it out. The Thing is amazing. That's on my horror list. That's my #1 horror film. Primer. You've never seen Primer? Oh, you gotta go watch it. It's almost unwatchable, but it's like it is so hard sci-fi that it's mind blowing. But it's like there's no special effects in it. It's all conceptual. Yeah. You want the byline?
Yeah, give it a short.
Okay. The byline is it's about a garage gentleman who's trying to come up with an invention and accidentally stumbles on a way to basically kind of roll back time a little bit. And then the paradoxes that ensue based on the jealousy that occurs over this kind of situation. It's a character drama. The sci-fi aspect of it is kind of like present. But look, if you think Tenet is like a mind-blowing time travel movie, you're fucking prep your anus, because that Primer blows Tenet out of the water when it comes to that.
It's basically a rom-com.
Not even remotely. It's way darker and weirder and way more like.
So it's actually good.
It's very good. It's very, very good. But it's a very strange, low-budget film. It's awesome that you haven't seen it before. I'm very curious for you to watch it and report back.
Yeah.
All right, you're up now.
So, yeah, okay, so, what's it called now? It's called Existence.
Oh yeah, with Jude Law.
Yeah.
It's the weird fucking gelatinous clitoris or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's what's his face? Cronenberg.
Yeah.
Great film.
Yeah. That one, and let's see here. What's the one with is it the Event Horizon?
Sure. Yeah. Sam Neill.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Event Horizon, amazing.
Horizon.
That's horror and sci-fi. 2 for 1 right there. I heard rumors that they're doing a sequel to that.
Oh.
I know. Why do that? You don't need it. Fantastic film. Okay, great list so far.
And I think the last one is called Sex Mission.
Sex Mission. I like it already.
It's a Polish movie. It's a sci-fi. Basically, the plot is in the future. There are no longer, like, men aren't needed anymore.
I mean, makes sense.
But what they did was some ladies deep froze a couple of guys, and then
Gotta have one in your pocket just in case.
Yes.
Rainy day guy.
and then they it starts with they're defrosting a couple of guys on their ship
Yeah.
to kind of see like what's up.
Okay.
And of
Doesn't go
course-
good?
No, it doesn't go good. But it's really good.
Okay, I want to see that.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. That does remind me, speaking of interesting foreign films, I believe this one's either Swedish or Finnish. Maybe you know it. It's called Adastra or something like that.
Ad Astra.
It's about a colony or like a cruise liner in space that gets knocked off course and basically gets stranded in space. And it's like a catalog journey of like what goes on as they're like lost in space. It's very good. Yeah, someone double check. It's not Ad Astra, not that fucking lame movie with Brad Pitt in it. This is like weird Swedish foreign space film. It's from like early 2000s, I think. Also very good. If you're looking for weird sci-fi, there's some cult stuff that goes on. You like a good cult thing in your sci-fi shows. Films. Oh, you have an extra ball. I don't want to get DQ'd. Can I give you the opportunity to look up what the name? I didn't do it. I'm good. Don't yell at me.
Shaking the gate.
Aniara.
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 Yeah.
You've seen it?
Player 2 is on.
I'm pretty sure it's Swedish, right? Yeah, it's Swedish. You can watch it in a native language, right? Your friend with the music? Really? That's professional. Hold on, chat. I mean, Swedish composer did one film. Alex Berg. Well, you gotta ask him.
Yeah.
Right?
I gotta- if it's the guy.
Yeah, of course. Wow, cool. Well, worth checking out.
Yeah.
Now you have to watch it because you know somebody that was involved in its production, right? Oh, I gotta get chat back up. Which is fine because we're gonna drain for days here. Well, I want to thank everybody again for hanging out with us while we do something a little different here. I don't often get to see Daniel just because our schedules frequently aren't aligned, and I don't know. I don't reach out a whole lot because I'm a recluse. But this has been an absolute dream for me to play pinball listening to Acid. So. And something we'd never really thought to do before, to like kill the actual like game audio. Which you can only do on a few systems. You can do it on Barrels games. You're welcome. And kind of do it on Stearns. You'll notice like the attenuation, it's not perfect. There's still like a really faint amount of James Bond in the background. But I have tried to hide it by gating it. All right, let's do horror films next, just because that's probably another favorite genre. I went first last time, so you gotta go.
You first?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the first Elm Street,
Wow, classic.
because I basically shit my pants when I saw it when I was a kid, and the scene where they're running in the basement still haunts me. I think that's
I mean, anything that like lives in your dreams is like pretty awful and terrifying. Yeah.
Especially as when you're a kid, you can't really like process that. You don't have that kind of you know, abstract thinking worked out. So obviously that'll mess you up.
I like that you started vintage.
Yeah.
Like emotionally, that feels good.
Yeah. The Thing.
That's my, yeah, absolutely. If you haven't seen The Thing, go do it. Do yourself a favor. Don't watch the remake. Watch the original.
No, the original.
Kurt Russell at his finest,
Yeah.
man.
And third one.
Oh my God, roller coasters. You've never seen The Thing? Good Lord. Not 1951. It's 79, 81. It's John Carpenter, man. Classic.
Where did I start off?
That means there's a loose switch. Maybe the spinner might have spun. There's a few things that could have caused
The
it.
spinner spun.
There you go. I did not know that. Happy Face Man is saying that the John Carpenter's The Thing is actually a remake of a 1951 film called Another World. The Thing from Another World. That's crazy. Is that true, Happy Face Man? If that's mind-blowing, if that's the case. Major malfunction, new game. I don't know if I would call 4,000 points a major malfunction roller coaster. He's a tournament player and clearly got the tournament mindset going on right now.
I mean, third one would be. I mean, well, I can't say Event Horizon,
Yeah,
but I think the first Alien.
Yeah, excellent choice. Ridley Scott at his finest. What's up, Amy Crash? Yeah, we're listening to Acid. We have Daniel Troberg hanging out with me, the excellent friend, DJ, synth connoisseur. And yeah, he's on the decks, kind of, but we've been playing more pinball because pinball is, fun. It plays in the background? Interesting. Sarcasm not detected. Man, some of the Rob Zombie movies are actually pretty good. It's surprising to even say. But Devil's Rejects, I think it was surprisingly good. I quite liked Long Legs recently. I don't know if you've seen that. But I wouldn't put it on the top 3 list. Have you seen The Descent? That's my number 2. They did make a lot of Predator movies. You're right, Joe. God, I'm not sure what I would pick for the third one, though. There's too many good horror films. I did not like It Follows. I thought It Follows was not good. A lot of people recommended it to me, and then when I watched it, I was like, this is dumb. Like, I get the concept, but I don't know. Have you seen It Follows?
It Follows. Is it a new one?
Yeah, like 2010, 2015.
Oh, I don't know.
They Live, what I consider They Live kind of horror. I don't know, it's somewhere between horror, comedy, and sci-fi. Famous Duke Nukem line from there. It did feel like a Carpenter film. I'll give it that. Like it felt like it had a lot of its own style, which I appreciate, or, you know, re-experienced style. I think the Conjuring films are a lot more well executed in that regard. We watched the Smile films recently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, man. I don't know what I'm gonna pick for 3.
When you were in New York, did you ever go to a record shop called Sonic Groove?
I did not. Where's it located?
It hasn't been around for
A long time. Yeah, we didn't. We went to Tower Records. It was about the only thing that we went to because I had zero money and we didn't have any vinyl playing ability. So, but Brandon, the guy who essentially gave us a shot and allowed us to play at Pyramid Club, which is like honestly what really got me started in producing music, he was a real DJ. It was the 90s, man. Nobody was cheating with Tracker and shit like that. But that's when breakcore was the thing, man. Everybody was listening to like Venetian snares and like that whole kind of Florida crew of like core bass that kind of blew up and Richard Devine, all that shit. Amy Crash, I hear you, man. People Dead, which is an excellent pinball machine by Spooky. Unfortunately, very hard to get now. It's a low number run and completely sold out. Just like their Beetlejuice game. Oh, you could have saved it. That was a Lazarus.
Player 2.
Daniel, can we get a foot check? Ooh. I'm in the way. I mean, come on. Jersey Jack brought to you by Shoes. They literally have rainbow LEDs in the bottom. It's very cool. All right. So I gotta show you how the buttons work because we're not using the center button at all.
So what does the center button do?
Well, if you drain, you don't get to use it. Oh, we're back. Okay, so depending on what color it does different things. And it can be 3 colors, one of which it doesn't do very much. So if it is pink, like it is now, if I hit it, it will start using the playfield multiplier, which I will give an example of that in this mode because it will be good for it. Alternatively, when you flip on the right side, it cycles between pink and blue. Blue uses a smart missile, which are those little missiles above your name, or near your name, and it gives you it spots the most important shot it believes exists on the playfield. So, which is super important. So here, we'll kick in scoring just for fun here, and then I'm going to use the smart missile to spot some shots. We're not playing tournament strategy. I'm just giving you an example. I'm sure Chad is cringing at my current, strategy. And it's really useful for getting into very specific modes and stuff. So like if you need to get, for example, we need to get 5 or 6 shots on the right ramp here in order to complete this. You can set it up by hitting the target using smart missile. And if your timer is about to run out, it can be extremely useful for making sure you complete it before it happens. Also really useful, for example, like if you only need 1 more to complete it, it starts a multi-ball. So if you drain, use your smart missile as you are draining, and then you start a multi-ball, which gives you a ball save. So there's like strategy to like incorporating the button. I know. Crazy town. I'm guessing the 90s is your favorite era for pinball. Because you mentioned, 2 of your games were straight out of the early 90s.
Yeah.
You don't hear a lot of Mark Ritchie games being picked as favorites, which is a shame, but good. Yeah, which except for that Bond, which is unfortunately so expensive. I'm sorry, not Bond. Indiana Jones. It is a great game, but it is. It's one of those games, you know, like a record that's just like overpriced for the fact that it's rare.
Yeah.
It's that. All right. We are absolutely not completing this. I need to be hitting the right ramp, and I haven't done it once. The only time we got it was when we cheated. Smart missile time. I don't know if I would consider They Live, though. I really do think that that's more of a comedy film. He's on. I don't know many of the like late 70s, early 80s like horror films are. You're deep in thought.
Yeah, I mean, I'm processing there's a lot of things to think about. There's a sudden strategy.
I need to ask you. You said that you didn't like the genre of music like Justice because it's too much. There's too much going on. It's too thick. But like acid is like the antithesis to that. You know?
No, it's
I mean, the sonic. There's a lot of spectrum going on, but there's not a lot of layers going on. So you're saying like too many layers, thick production. What is it about it that makes it too much?
but that's too much.
You must have hated my album.
I mean, I smashed it, but I still cut.
That's the right
No,
answer.
no.
Blow it up.
No, yours was very good. I just think that this type of acid is still very simplistic. You know?
What would you what acid is think like wood fiber go into like
No, that again
it's
is
pretty more funk acid.
yeah,
than
yeah.
anything.
I mean, that's kind of like something else. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like fun.
Robox, thanks so much for the raid, dude. Oh, it's like phase 6. Dude, what's going on? What were you guys screaming? We were doing an Acid 007 hangout. I think that's probably the best way to qualify it, right? Curious what we gotta when we're off stream. I need some album recommendation because I feel like that is the question that hasn't been asked yet, and it's the most obvious question for someone who is a DJ and a synth lover. Like there must be troves of amazing music.
Oh, there's too much.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll narrow it down by being like, I want something like this.
yeah, but there's this. I mean, there needs to be like separation, and there needs to be like what genres I would call.
Sure.
Categories. Like picking your favorite off. Hammer is pretty good, but the screwdriver.
Screwdriver's great.
Screwdriver's good.
Yeah, that's a good picking a good one. Roller Coaster wants to know your opinions on Pink Floyd.
I used to hate Pink Floyd, but as I got
You appreciate it more? I mean, they were like kind of one of the first like tape.
yeah, it's that when you're a kid and you're you want to listen to music, you don't fit on to it.
No, you don't.
But when you're older and you have then you sort of you're like, oh.
So, Roller Coaster's 20 years old, and just like, when did you start listening to Pink Floyd? He loves Pink Floyd, right? You know what he didn't like? He didn't like Nine Inch Nails. I mean, sure, no judgment. I thought that would have been on the flip. I thought that would have been a little flipped around. Good grief, what's up? It's good to see you, my dude. That's awesome, Skullbox. Civic Rim on FX. Is that a good table on that? I don't know. Just don't make him play Doom, right?
Wait, so tell me about Alice in Wonderland.
It's a pinball machine. Is that what's being referred to?
So what's
Okay, so the Alice in Wonderland, if you're talking about, there's two Alice in Wonderland machines. There's one by Wonderland Amusements, which is making a compact Alice in Wonderland machine, which is kind of irrelevant. What I believe they're talking about is Dutch Pinball made Alice in Wonderland, which is based off of John Papaduke's original drawings and designs for it, which became a big problem because he had promised a number of things and ended up getting sued. And then all of his assets regarding his pinball stuff was sold in what was called the deep something thing. But the Alice in Wonderland machine, so like all of these assets from this lawsuit were divided among pinball companies that like bought them. So Dutch Pinball purchased Raza, which is Radioactive Zombie or something like that. John Papaduke is very famous for a few games. Famous for World Cup Soccer, Circus Voltaire, Tales of the Arabian Nights, and what am I forgetting? One more. Oh, Theater Magic. So, you know, a pretty accomplished pinball designer and has a pretty good track record, right? Anyway, so this lawsuit occurs, all these assets get sold, and all these other companies pick them up and start making these games. Dutch Pinball took his design for Alice in Wonderland and made it as authentic as it could be because it literally existed as just like a sketch, like not even a prototype, it was just, you know, like a napkin sketch, for lack of a better word. Anyways. I played it. Ace Gogi had one for maybe a week, and then somebody bought it because it is that rare. And I will say that the person who bought it mentioned that they regret it. It is not. It's just it doesn't hold up as well in its both design, and they tried to do it very authentically to what the original design was, instead of expanding on it to make it, I don't know, kind of catch up to where modern pinball is. Because I don't know if you're aware, but modern pinball has a lot more stuff going on. So, yeah. He also owes $250,000 from my local operator, allegedly. Well, there you go. I believe it. I mean, you know, he took a lot of money from people to manufacture these games, kind of like a Kickstarter scenario, and then didn't deliver. And a lot of people got screwed. Which I will say again, hey, what's up, Papa the guy? Speaking of, that's not actually, that would be amazing if that was John Papaduke and was the entire time. I know that it's not, but part of me wants to believe that it is. So yeah, Pinball Drama. It's a very beautiful looking game. I think that the playfield artwork and the manufacturing design that they went into, there's all sorts of like little nuances. Its art package for the cabinet art is a little weird. It's like sexy lady artwork, but like done in Alice in Wonderland style. So I'm sure that that's somebody's fucking kink somewhere.
Is it a bit like on the Japanese tip? Like
no,
like kawaii or?
No, it's not like anime style. It's more like, I don't know, man, French maybe. I don't know what I would qualify it as. I'll pull some of the artwork up so you can see it. No, it's stylized smut. I got an extra ball. It's just very stylized. Later, roller coasters, man. Good to see you. Slash, thanks for hanging, and goodbye. What do you call that? There, does somebody post a link to the Alice in Wonderland playfield, please, so I don't have to dig for it and I can show Daniel. I think it's very awesome that the game got made. I just don't think that from a business perspective, like, that's not what you do. Oh, you went potty. I gotta play pinball. Playing pinball. Daniel went potty, everybody. Okay. Spelling MI6. Oh, you're saying by the skull box. All right, cool. Well, then, roller coasters, can you find me a good screenshot of Alice in Wonderland? And maybe Raza too, just so I can show off what that is. Which I don't know if it's going to be made now. You know, a lot of the drama with that currently is that the person that essentially worked at Dutch Pinball and was like the kind of like owner got outed because investors wanted to take a different direction with the games they were making, and now he's gone. And then instead, now he works at he works at a competing pinball place called American Pinball, which also went out of business and disappeared, and then suddenly got bought by a different investor and came back. There are a lot of pinball companies that exist now. There are 5 or 6 now, as opposed to just having 2 or 3 in like 20 years ago. So.
Player 2.
Here we go. Alice in Wonderland. This is what the artwork looks like. You got to tell chat what you would categorize this as. Here, let me zoom in.
Oh.
Here, well, you know what?
It's like not so tasteful. Like what's it called now? The Jessica Rabbit.
Oh yeah.
The Hollywood. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Right.
Yeah.
Hanna-Barbera. It's not really Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, but it's like trashy Hanna-Barbera.
Trashy Hanna-Barbera. Here, hold on. I'm gonna. I don't know what I'm doing with my life, chat. Okay. Boom. There, now we're playing Alice in Wonderland. I mean, it's got a style. I just, you know, but you know, these sculpts, they have all these really elaborate, like 3D sculpts and stuff. So it's a pretty game, right? Like here's the playfield. So, yeah. So, and that's DPX's like whole thing. So Dutch Pinball X, Dutch Pinball exclusive. Their whole jam.
It's got a very psychedelic.
Psychedelic is a perfect word for it. It's psychedelic smut.
But I wouldn't like the smut could have like go away.
Yeah, they could have just kept the psychedelic stuff. You don't need fucking gazongas.
Yeah.
You don't need gazongas on your back glass, right?
Alex stuff, you don't need fucking gazongas. You don't need gazongas on your back glass. Right? Alex stuff.
I'm not saying gazongas are bad in any capacity. I just, you know, this is not the time or the place to have gazongas be the center stage of your fucking pinball back glass. Which is a shame because the rest of the artwork is like, it's pretty good. It's got a really good look to it. Dutch Pinball also made a game called The Big Lebowski. I don't know if you played that.
Cool.
It's pretty good. It's the only other pinball machine they've really made. They are rumored to have the Back to the Future license, and that's going to be their next game. But now everything's up everything's up in the air. People are like, is it going to get made? Is it going to get made? So, all right, am I up? Sure. You gotta come over when it's when we don't do a stream thing, so I can give you the tour of kind of like the last 20 years of pinball, since that's basically what the house has right now.
Yeah. I'm not really up to date.
There have been some absolute landmark titles in the last like 15 years. Jaws is, I think, probably the best pinball machine that's been made in the last. I don't know, a bit. I think many people would agree with me. A few would disagree, which is fine. But it is undeniably a good pinball machine. But yeah, it's really special. It's super fun. This is also a great game. I would pick Jaws over this personally, but I still love this game. Paragon would beg to differ. What's up, Lake Tahoe? Speaking of classic wide-body games that have extremely amazing gazongas on it, Paul Ferris is well known for putting gazongas on playfield artwork. I really hope gazongas doesn't start catching on here. Nobody don't clip me saying gazongas. Serious. Nobody clip me saying gazongas. I don't need that. Dang it.
Pinball is lit.
Oh, See, that's fantastic. Even at high speed, that shot is still registering now with the top on it. It's good stuff. All right. It's weird playing this without music. Daniel, we need the acid. We're good. Acid is playing again. We save our clips for the socks. I'm so glad Sock Stream is taking a break right now. Carl will be back for Lord of the Rings Valinor run as well, for sure. That is not a one and done. It just Carl got a little ill, and you know, believe it or not, his health comes before my pinball stream. Just a little. Silent. It sounds similar to him saying, but Haggis did suck. That's another pinball company. So, have you played the game Fathom? This is an older 80s game.
I can't remember.
It's got a water theme. It's got a speech synthesis chip in it, similar to Gorgar, which is kind of neat. It talks like P-17 bomber, like that kind of style.
Is it the TMS? You know?
I don't know. Chat, look that up. What sound voice synthesis chip is in Fathom? Yeah, it has that very like distinguished early 80s like. Have you played the B-17 bomber for like the ColecoVision or Intellivision? I'm not even on the Amiga. It had a speech module that you had to attach to it, and it had this like weird like like somebody was like gargling marbles while they were talking.
Yes.
Yeah, so it sounds like that. Good grief! Thank you so much for showing up, my dude. Thanks so much. Squawk and talk. Kinda. What's up, Slinger?
Write it.
TMS 5200NL.
Oh, there you go.
Is that what you said? I forgot.
TMS, yes.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, it is absolutely the TMS chip. So anyways, it's like a mermaid underwater kind of theme. You can't see the camera or the button hit, but the desperation hit of hit all the buttons as it drains was for real right there. This is cool. What is this?
Music.
Yeah.
It's a friend named James Bernard. He actually works at
Oh, I know James Bernard.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he did this in the 90s, and it's it's one of my favorite, kind of like acid trancey stuff.
Yeah, it's
On a UK label.
interesting. Yeah, he connected me to the Worth a Listen guys, and they flipped out and did a whole series on that, the 3-part of album that I did. So I really appreciate his connection there. So, yeah. Silverbane, thanks so much for the follow. Oh wait, I gotta hide the dumb artwork so we can properly give you a bath. So yeah, we have a little thing here where, you know, once you join the cult of pinball, the great pyramid of the god of pinball, all praise, requires that you're clean because all the cult members need to be clean. So Tub Guy gives you a bath. Not to be confused with Tub Girl, you wouldn't know who that is, would you? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't think that Maggie does that.
Is there a...
Hold on, I gotta get rid of this stupid artwork. Get out of here, Bazongas. All right, can we get a repeat bath? Thank you very much. Silverman, thank you so much for the follow. There's your second bath. Thank you, chat. Yeah. What's up, guys? The self-care advocate, and make sure that all your card numbers are spick and span and ready to play pinball. Yeah, that's. What's up, guy? Is he giving you a bath?
No, nothing.
Oh, and we're thirst quenching. What happened? What was that? Oh my God, Daniel! You know there's people watching, right? This is one of the two main multi-balls in the game. There's Jetpack, which I think we've both gotten to. And this is the one, if you lock enough balls, you get bird one. Oh shit, I forgot. I should be using, is that enough? Did we get all three? Bird 1 has a secret in it that if you shoot the orbits as it dumps the balls out, it will give you a extension. Once you drained a single ball play, it randomly it comes back. You got a second chance. Everybody loves second chances, right?
It's 007.
I don't like Fake Q. Fake Q's an asshole. I don't know if I got enough.
So, technical question.
Yeah, hit me. Let's see if we got
What's the most common chip used in modern pinball machines these days? Like, what's the processor that...
So, Stern Games, for their Spike 2 system, run on an ARM processor. Okay. And then they just changed over to Raspberry Pi for their Spike 3 system.
Oh, that makes sense.
Which is pretty crazy. Barrels of Fun, the company that I work with, uses what's called B-Link, which is a Linux box. And I believe it is also an ARM processor, but it's basically a little tiny Linux computer and sits in the middle. And then it speaks to all these secondary modules, which control all of the solenoids and the LEDs and all that stuff. And those secondary boards are by a man named Aaron, who runs a company called Fast Pinball. And they're basically they're for homebrewers as well who want to make their own pinball machines. But they're just pre-designed communication boards that allow for CPUs to talk to. Pretty neat stuff. But yeah, they're all pretty low voltage, low power stuff. Actually, I think the CPU in the B-Link might be a Celeron, which is an old, it's the low voltage Intel x86 processor. Silverbane's asking, are we a fan of any of the Bally William remakes? Yes. I have an Attack from Mars from CGC, which is a great game. A friend of mine has the Cactus Canyon, also really loves it. And I'm very curious to see if Totan, I'm curious to see if Pedretti's going to actually release any of the new rumored ones. They made Funhouse. Funhouse is a pretty. I've never had a good game on Funhouse, so I don't like it, but I like the idea. I don't like what they did with it though, because they redid all the art assets and they redid all the audio assets, and it lost that terrifying creepy factor. Instead, it's cheesy in a way that I don't think was intended originally. Because Funhouse is kind of like a dark, I think it's really a horror game. You know what I mean? You really want a Circus Voltaire, dude? Sin, I want a Papa Dude game bad. I like J-pop, man. Carl is not a J-pop fan, but I am. You got the Monster Bash remake. That's cool. Synth 13, I forget. Where are you located? I know that we met at Expo, but I forget where your general area is. Jesus Christ, roller coasters. Tan? I don't think so. How could you bag on Tales of the Arabian Nights? Even if you don't like the game's playfield layout, there's a game that did gazongas in a tasteful way, and also, nice, we're gonna clip that, it's a little Saberino.
Is lit.
Yeah, exactly. World Cup Soccer is it's immediately loved by people as soon as they play it.
You were wondering what it cost.
My read.
As a matter of fact, I was.
Wow, letting the video play out.
My read.
Ball 2. Okay, so if you're lit for a green one there, you should go for that. You have just started a mode, and you have your multi-ball ready. So this is as good as it gets. You also have your second multi-ball ready. See those orange dots? So either of those shots is gonna be what you want.
Convex.
Yeah, that's great. That flip is the best one to do it from. A little earlier.
Just like you on this island, Dr. No.
Okay. All right, boom. So now you are in Bird 1 multi-ball, and you are also in that mode. So you want to hit get ready, left flipper. No, you want to hit the ramp as it comes down. So it's going to feed them to you now. You ready? You ready? Hit it. Almost. Hit it. Oh. So if you can hit 3 of those or use the smart missiles to do it,
I see.
you'll get a free extension of the multi-ball after you drain. I know, Joe, but shit. No! Oh, I gotta dance. Can we have overlaying techno? I feel like double techno layer is not being mixed with it. As a DJ, how do you feel about chat trying to mix that in?
Oh, autocorrect.
That's true. Introduce chat to Oddtecker. Do you think Bond would have been good if Oddtecker did his soundtrack for Yeah, I mean, onboarding people to learn how to play pinball. Here's the thing about modern pinball. And I think as someone who's coming in from 20, 15 years worth of like not seeing pinball. So players that still are into pinball want deeper rule sets, more complicated games because they've been kind of tutorial through that, right? But then how do you make it still fun and entertaining for people that are of either new to pinball or skill level, kids, any of that kind of stuff? And so Stern's philosophy is to either have a multi-ball that's like really easy to get to right off the bat, or something on the playfield that's like easy to hit at that's just like satisfying. So like on Bond, it's like for sure the giant dildo. I mean, space dildo is inviting to hit. And by doing that, you're hitting down the targets that also light your main multi-ball. So from like, Gomez is an excellent designer in terms of like getting new players satisfied. You try to hit the big dong because it's there. All of a sudden you've got a big light that's blinking that says lock. You probably accidentally hit that because it's right near the other ones. You're in a multi-ball, you've had fun, you get to experience. So, but then teaching people the deeper rules, it's like, it's still a common problem. Our most recent game from Barrels, Winchester, a lot of people are confused at it. It's got a whole like board game mechanic where you like walk around to different rooms, you use keys, like all sorts of stuff. Really exciting stuff to have in pinball, but also like very confusing for people that may not have had a game that's like that. So it's a constant struggle. Just, I don't know, interesting pinball thoughts. Is this still James' record?
Yeah.
Did he use the AB303 or is it software or is it? Because I know he's a software guy. Way before Omnisphere or Spectrasonics.
Way before. 1993.
How long have you known James? I've only talked to him like twice, I think.
Oh, I guess I just met him at a NAMM show. And then realized that, he did this.
Oh, you had his record? Oh, that's so cool. It's not often that you listen to something and then meet the person and you're like, oh, wow, you're that guy?
Yeah.
Fun when it happens. Who doesn't want to rub your balls against the Space Dong? Dude, I agree, Slinger. The Space Dong is a good time. It's no gazongas, but, you know.
What's the most controversial
machine?
Yeah.
Zingy Bingy. Zingy Bingy is the most controversial pinball machine. It is the only porno pinball machine that almost got made. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. I'll pull up Zingy Bingy on the side. But yeah. Without a doubt. Are you going to put Zingy Bingy music on?
Yeah.
Cool. Here you go. Zingy Bingy. It's Adam and Eve.
Oh, but I mean, it's not that bad.
No.
There's at least like, you know, two.
Her vagina's a saucer.
Huh.
There's pop bumpers for titties. It's weird.
And there's a snake.
Look, his penis is a flipper, kinda. Yeah, and it goes up and down because, yeah. Pretty brilliant, honestly, that part. But the rest of it's weird. Oh, there was going to be a physical bra for the censored mode? That's hilarious. Well, at least they were thinking about how to manufacture it for kids. Always good when you're making your giant Adam and Eve titty pinball machine. I'm sorry, gazongas.
Me too.
Yeah. Playboy Pinball 2000 was in the works. Interesting. So there's only 2 Pinball 2000 games that were made. The best Star Wars movie ever made. And then, I'm joking about that. It's a terrible movie. Phantom Menace is what I'm referring to. And Revenge from Mars, the other Pinball 2000. Have you seen those games?
Yes.
It used a metallic aluminum layer, I believe. It was some sort of reflective coating on the upper half of the playfield so that it would reflect the CRT monitor that was on top. Pretty innovative tech. And the person who designed that game, George Gomez, was the person who designed this game. Yeah. So, little pinball history for you. It has 1 review on Pinside. Well, what did they get? What did they rate Zingy Bingy? The world wants to know. All right, we got to start a mode here. And try to get into our multi-ball. There we go. Okay. That's not good. No. Let's see what we got in the replay buffer. I think it's his good save. Let's see what we got here.
There's a game that did gazongas in a tasteful way. Also, I was able to put that through the same field layout. There's a game that did gazongas.
Kit for this is like both awesome and strange at the same time. I appreciate because the Bond has a cheesiness to it. You know what I mean? And it's still pinball, so not every pinball machine should be taken too serious.
I hope you had a pleasant flight.
My time is limited.
Okay, apparently Zingy Bingy has 3 reviews. 2 of them are 10s out of 10, and 1 of them is a 7.301. That is a really specific number for that review. Like someone really took the time to dive into what it should be. In there. Are you okay? That was a moment. I missed it. Let's see what we got.
What happened there? You okay? That was a moment.
Okay, I thought that I didn't realize it just missed. Lake Tahoe, someone made a big dick conversion for Zingy Bingy. I don't really. Yeah, like. Also, the fact that I had to say that frustrates me. I never thought I would say those words.
So,
hit me.
I remember some of the old games had dual.
Multiple buttons?
Yeah, is that still a thing?
Less so. There are a few companies that are doing secondary buttons. For example, Spooky's Evil Dead, which is a game we talked about earlier, has a it doesn't have a right slingshot. It has a little flipper here.
Okay.
And there is a second button here that activates that flipper, which is kind of neat. Also, there's another new pinball company called Turner Pinball. Their most recent game, Merlin's Arcade, which is it's a strange game. I'm not sure how I feel about it. But it has extra buttons here, and they do what's called a micro flip. You know what a micro flip is?
No.
So it's hard to do on Sterns, but if you...
Oh, so it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot do it. It's really hard to do on Sterns. I can show it to you on Shadow. I can show it to you on Indie. Essentially, it's just enough of a flip to trigger the solenoid, but then the voltage drops, so you just kind of get like a little hop, and it throws the ball over. So those are the only two I can think of off the top of my head. But like, Shadow, that's a game from the 90s, and that has extra buttons for all sorts of good stuff. Well, I guess it just controls the diverters, but I think that's good stuff. Joe says that Pin 2K had added buttons on the flippers. Well, there you go. We were just talking about Pin 2K. Again, that goes into the category of like too confusing for new players, So it's like you're trying to add new stuff to help make the games deeper, but if you go too far, you get criticized for it not being fun because people can't figure out how to play it. I mean, I feel like this exists in the synthesizer world too, right?
Yes.
You got to make sure that the interface is understandable, but also easy to make sure that you can make some sounds instantaneously.
Yes.
I guess is what presets are, right?
Sometimes.
Did you contribute to any of the presets for the Hydrasynth?
No, I cannot say that I did.
Ah, damn it. No. Get up. That's not what I want. The strategy here is to let them drain so you have a second chance at hitting them. See how they're blinking faster now? But I'm screwing it up. I screwed it up completely. It's like my life. Hello. Our little Spindrift fairy has arrived. Oh. Sid, I think I've got one more good game in me. Would you like to join us on our last streamed hurrah here? How do you feel about that, Daniel?
Yes, let's do it.
And then we have to have a long conversation about record recommendations because I need to get some acid recommendations from you. All right. Sid moved with me to All Attacker, but Sid also listens to electronic music, so it's not the same. Although you had never, we got extremely, I don't know, not stoned, and then listened to all of either Confield or one with Sam Gishel is on, or like a Triangle. Can't think of the album name. I'm mumbling, trying to remember what the All Attacker album was that we went through, that we binged. That I was like, you should really experience it front to back because it really is kind of like that.
Like an early one or a later one?
It was the one right before. Yes. God damn it! I had them both on vinyl in the other room. Can't think of it off the top of my head. It was before LP5, but after. It was Confield is one of them, but I don't think it was that. It was the other one right before or right after Confield. It was when they released two albums that were like disturbingly right back to back, which was weird because it took them like 4 years or whatever to do.
What time period?
Early 2000, like 2003, 2004.
I wonder if it was just before the Electron. I think the Electron stuff was like 2007 or 8.
Oh, was one of their albums like a lot of Electron stuff?
Yeah, so that's one of the times when Electron really blew up.
Because they talked about using it as...
No, they were out touring and somebody took a photo of their stuff.
Got it.
Posted somewhere, and suddenly it was just like, oh, this is what they're using. Blah blah blah.
That's how you gotta. That's how you gotta sound good. Yeah, you get it. You're
I just realized.
That's where talent comes from.
right. Taking something and being able to turn it.
And my neck,
Money.
showing off my neck.
You got a pretty good neck. We were talking about gazongas earlier.
Oh, okay.
But this is one of the main. It's I guess kind of a mini wizard mode. Sure.
Order.
Yeah. Draft 730 is what I was talking about. We listened to Draft 730 all the way through, front to back. Quite an experience. So if you do both multi-balls and do a mode of each, the henchman and villain mode, 4 of those things happen, then you light kind of like a mini wizard mode, which is what that James Bond was. I know. It's a lot to throw. Hey, there's a reason that there's a whole subset of people that just love playing classics. You know, there's something about like a simple rule set that's just fun to master, you know? Son of a bitch. Lake Tahoe says, really digging the electronic vibes in the background. Thanks for playing them. Well, please thank. Right here, Daniel Troberg is playing real vinyl. You didn't get to show off your mixing skills because we've just been kind of like Spotifying it. Trust me, he can do it. He's quite good. Although I'm curious, Daniel, when you're doing transitions, do you do your set list, or are you doing that totally live?
It depends.
Just like what the mood strikes you?
It depends a little bit on where in the world I am, and if I have.
Silverbane, I'm definitely going to TPF. I'll be there. It depends on if you have.
It depends on if I have things to record onto and records with me, or if I'm remote.
Gotcha. Oh, you do the show even if you're not, like, if you're traveling for work?
Pre-recorded.
Okay. For some reason, I thought like you went down to DubLab to do it every time.
So I used to live very, very close to the old station.
Right, but then they shut down or moved it, right?
Moved it, yeah. And now I can't really walk there anymore. Like I used to be able to walk over there.
I mean, that's convenient.
That was very convenient. So there's been a lot of people for it.
Gotcha. Come on, give me. I'm playing bricks left and right. Don't you dare play the brick reward, you jerks. Yeah, say hi, Silverbane, please. I love interacting with people. Like when we were at Expo, all sorts of people come up to say hi to me. I am not too busy to say hi to anybody. If you see me and recognize me and want to say hi, please come up. I want to meet you. That's part of the reason to be in there. Other pinball lovers, you know? All right, Silverman, have a good one, man. I know, I got them all lit. I'm trying to get them. Here. Okay, so this is the strategy, right? We have 2 ladies lit right now. We need them all. So we're going to take advantage of this ball save, and I'm just going to keep draining it. We're going to take this ball. We're going to try to use this one to get it. There we go. Boom. There's one. Okay, now we're out of ball save. I'm going to drop that ball, and now we have new ball save. Let them drain. Here we go. We got new balls coming up. Let's try to get the ladies. Boom. Ladies? Nope. It's fine. So now we have 4. We just need 2 more. Oh, come on. Auto plunger. Don't do this. Suck off. Really? Get out. Get out. Yeah, that one's probably too close. Jesus Christ. Unfortunate there. All right, so if we can, we only need 2 more. See if we can show off a good stack. If I can get 7x running and go into any multi-ball, I'll get a couple billion easily. But just, it really shows like rules knowledge goes a very long way when it comes to like pinball in general.
Life in general.
Oh, life in general too, yeah. All right, one more. I have been trying to do this with a perfect stack for like, how long, chat? At least a week? Every time I'm right about to get 7 ladies, I drain just like that. Son of a bitch, I'm gonna just save it. No, I'm not. Fuck, ass, fuck. Yes, Slinger, you should get ass reward queued up because, as usual, per every fucking time, I get all 6 of the ladies. Yeah, okay. All right. This is it. The final three. Let's do it. Before we start it, I want to give a huge thank you, Daniel, for lugging your decks over, entertaining us with information about Finland, electronic music history, synthesizers, the dip into your movie tastes, excellent acid music. Seriously, man, this has been Chef's Kiss. He's digging for records now. Do you have a send-off record that you're going for?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. You got a send-off record. Jam out. I dig. Yeah, Mr. Furioser. That is the move. Anytime there's an extra ball, you should go for it, right? Pretty cool. They're making. Oh, good dance. Wait, you can't see you. Come on over here. Now you give a good dance. Gotta do it like goth kid in the corner of the club and just be like. All right, please, as my guest,
Okay.
player one,
Thank you.
all you.
Thank you. Oh, I gotta remember all the rules.
Go, try to start a mode, hit either ramp off the plunge,
Okay.
right? Hold down the left flipper as well, because that gives all these purple lights. If you hit one of them, you'll get an extra smartness. So it's like, that's the way to go. Hold it down the whole time and then give it a hard plunge. It's a secret skill shot. All right, ready? And they'll stay lit for a while. You got time. Oh. Okay, so now you want to start a mode and start building towards getting a multi-ball set up.
Stop shaking the...
I just want to thank Daniel for coming. We got a nice send-off record, so we're just going to play one more game here and good to go. Let's do it. Like Tom says, thanks for having him come by. Great to see someone with vinyl playing. Yeah, no, for sure. This is no tractor. This mixer has one thing that it does, which is mix records. It doesn't do it for you. Tractor's in your brain, right?
These days, yeah.
Okay. Was she good tonight? Always nice when your kid isn't it? That's right. Yeah, that movie's primer roller coasters. Absolutely. I recommend everybody see it. It's an experience again. Like I said, I don't know whether it's up to the individual whether you think it's good or not, just because it is very convoluted and very confusing. But it is, they don't make films like that anymore. It ain't no Marvel film, that's for damn sure. I'm looking forward to watching the stream. I usually watch my streams anyways, just to make sure that like sound is good and if I'm being entertaining and how I can improve. But I'm looking forward to watching this one because we have the monitors turned way down, so the microphones aren't picking them up. So like we can't really hear the music as much as I would like to. So I'm hoping, I can't wait to fucking bump it later on the big screen. 2 subs. We have 2 subs hiding in the closet. Like,
Oh, it does. It's pretty awesome. Oh, I was petting the dogs. I have dog hair on my face.
don't have dog hair on your face.
I can't really play up to the back. Okay, I'm ready. Hi, everyone. Well, this has been a fun night.
It's Flow Girl.
Oh, Flow Girl.
Strain Girl.
Yeah. been enjoying the thick
Dude,
sounds.
the beats have been on fucking fire. Or I should say the 303 has been on fire. Wait, how many 303s do you actually own? Why do you need more than one? I mean, no judgment. I have too many pinball machines, so who the fuck am I to say anything?
Hey, never too many of what you guys have, so
That's true. And when you love something, get as many of it as possible, I guess.
whatever makes you happy.
What is your synth collection, dare I add?
Oh, that was unfortunate.
Yeah. Refined now?
Yeah,
It is.
Oh, nice.
Collecting things creates a lack of space, unfortunately. I wish that we need a smaller hobby. Like, I want to collect like sand. Like that, I want that to be my thing.
Thanks.
Like sand, grains of sand.
No.
What do you mean no?
As an organizer,
I want you to organize my sand.
no, I'm not organizing.
You know I have a microphone on you now.
I
You can't
know.
hide over there. Oh yeah.
I'm not trying to hide. You can hear it.
I'm just saying.
Guys, back me up
I
here.
want a fucking sick sand collection, okay?
Yeah.
Don't fucking yeah that. It's a super cool thing to fucking collect.
Fucking sick sand collection, okay? Yeah. Go fucking yeah that. It's a super cool thing to fucking collect. Fucking sick sand collection.
Daniel.
Thank you. I hit the wrong button.
Except for the light up shoes.
Yeah, we were talking about Daniel's amazing light up shoes. He's got the Silverman persona. I remember when I first met you, you had an excellent picture of you like DJing with like one hand. Like it was like a photo of you, or no, you were DJing with your feet or something. It was ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Yes.
All right, so what do you have to do to learn how to DJ with your feet?
I started off with like that I borrowed from friends. Not was these like
Other shitty ones?
some like really shitty ones, belt drives, and what happened was like it needed to be very easy to the touch,
Okay.
because otherwise like mess it up.
Right.
So then when you yeah, but these right?
It's a project.
Yeah. So these were like DJ turntables way back in the day.
Sure.
Everybody had. And then you kind of understand that okay, like you gotta be going and understand
Sure.
turntable.
Okay, but with your feet.
Yeah, well, and then when you think that this is boring, like touching your hand.
Right, you transfer it to your feet. Wow, excellent. What's up, Paladin? Thank you so much for the raid. You've chosen an excellent time to raid. Although we are wrapping up, we're doing an acid pinball tonight. This is Daniel Troberg, who's well known in the synth industry. You can check him out. He's also a proficient DJ, and agreed to come over and do a live vinyl DJ set. The real deal. All right, what's our send-off track? You're gonna play now? All right, I'm gonna turn up the monitors so that we can actually hear it a little bit more. But yeah, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Yeah, we've dumped our audio from the game thanks to Stern's attenuation, which isn't perfect, but it's kind of good. What were you guys doing over there? What were you playing? Was it pinball? Was it Pinball Effects? Yeah, you're right. You are a player. Were you doing a tournament tonight, Paladin? That's like aberrating. There's Black Rose. Excellent.
I'm not doing silly stuff with the camera.
You are. You're always doing silly stuff. Amazing.
Oh, this is great. If y'all ever wondered like what it's like when Jeff and I are just hanging out late at night, this is pretty much what it is. Playing pinball, listening to oh, okay, I can do that too. This is so chaotic. So chaotic. I was doing the moon dance while he was howling. Got some awesome acid playing.
I like the silly girl. What's up, Arthur Pendragon? You need more ramps worth millions. Well, there's plenty of ramps. Just go get more ramps. Nice catch. That's a good one. It was a nice little live catch. She's gonna beat us because of that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sid won.
You
So
guys
the reason
been playing
we
so
have
much,
this
though.
pinball machine is because the organization that runs competitive pinball, the ICA, has an agreement with Stern that if you perform really well and climb the ranks a certain distance, you get part of their rewards program. So she has been doing so good in leagues that she went up 30,000 ranks, 38,000 ranks, right?
Yep.
In the world pinball rankings, and got a huge discount. So we had to get one. Both the girls wanted a Bond machine, which blows
I
my
did
mind.
want a Bond. Well, not to brag about you, but you have a lot of pinball machines already that we really like.
Sure.
But except for this
They've
one.
overflowed. I
Until
started
now.
giving games to friends, and we had to get them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got a lot of games.
a lot of pinball. It's like it's clear now.
But yeah. Love when passions turn into making the monies to pay the bills.
They have 2 games currently. They just did Predator and Alien. Oh, I'm sorry, no, they have more than that. They have ABBA. They
Wow.
have Alien.
Oh, I couldn't save
They
it.
have, which Alien was kind of a licensed game
No,
that
Daniel's
someone else
beating
made,
me.
but they still manufacture. What am I forgetting? What's the other Pinball Brothers game that's not ABBA? Chat, help me out.
Predator?
No, not that one.
Oh.
There's one more. They did one other, Queen. They did a Queen game.
Oh.
Yep. So, thank you, roller coasters. I remember just in time. I don't know what just in time means in this particular, for this particular reason, but. All right. This is our last game for the night, and then we're gonna go relax. I need to eat some food. I'm gonna try to steal one of Daniel's records too. Don't tell him. Yeah, but the problem is the manufacturers, the European manufacturers are suffering right now because tariffs, for one, but also shipping is a problem. Like, I don't know if you're aware, but pinball machines are like kind of heavy and big. Damn it. Wow, look at that blue DJ girl. Well, let's frame to a little better. You are such a good hype girl. Oh boy. Yeah, they're at a percentage. That's true, Joe. Oh, for sure. That's what I was saying. I can't wait to bump it. That's very true. Lake Tahoe brings up. So the Pinball Brothers games have some like specific components to their games. I think for the most part they are using some Williams stuff, and they know that they use the fast pinball platform, which is the same platform that Harold Fun uses for their driver boards. I imagine you guys must go through similar, like, I mean, are you designing your boards in-house for everything? What's that? Really? They're not based on like ARM or anything like that? Like Snapdragon or anything? It's all interesting. Are they like extra efficient at doing like audio mathematics or something? Or
Yeah, it's also to have like
okay.
Player 3.
Like I'm flowing, but I'm not flowing.
Yeah. I do. This is horrendous. Our final game is like in the 20
first game
mils.
of the night,
Yeah, that's
so
fine.
for me-
You have an excuse.
Yeah.
Daniel and I. We've been having too much fun talking about movies and fucking music and shit. Bond,
Well, that's
secondary.
what it's all about, you know?
Pinball's about community. The games are secondary. Unless you're playing Jaws. Then you don't need friends. Then you don't need friends.
Or Godzilla.
Yeah, or Godzilla.
Or in my case, Gothzilla, because the black and white one's my favorite.
Yeah, that game is normally in color.
Ooh, he done drained.
Son of a bitch. All right, we'll do a real goodbye now. Everybody's come on, crowd in, everybody. Crowd in. We gotta praise the Great Pyramid for one, so that's for this up.
Oh,
I'm gonna go over there with you. All praise the Great Pyramid, everybody. The God of Pinball, you know you love it. Thank you for our extra long hangout stream. Again, my 5th thank you. Slinger, excellent timing. Truly, thank you so much, man. It is always a pleasure, and I really do appreciate you taking the time to bring all of these heavy DJ tables over here, throwing some fucking sick beats down while we play some pinball. You love it. All right, everybody stick around. I'm gonna go raid somebody. We're gonna find someone who's got something going on, and yeah, go play some pinball. Go get someone into pinball. If they don't know what pinball is, get them into it. Can you do a reverse out for us?
Does your life lack purpose? Have you wondered if there's anything more? Join the cult of pinball. The Great Pyramid accepts all into the cult of the Great Order. I am Dr. Cornelius Bigostin, imperturber and acolyte of the Great Pyramid. Join us on an ever-ending quest to spread the joy of pinball. Have you just received your Great Pyramid creation kit? Help us summon the Great Pyramid by attaching your pyramid transmission device to arcades and pinball machines around the globe. Make sure your device is attached in appropriate spots like these.